Yo, what's up, guys? Hello. Hope y'all are having a fantastic Monday. Hope y'all had a good weekend. Yeah, I could have gone live this weekend. Saturday and Sunday. I chose not to. Sometimes that'll happen, guys. So, yeah. There wasn't a live Saturday. Or Sunday. And I was going to do a gaming stream. Bro, I just did not want to do anything internet related. Fuck yeah, Terminated. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much for the 5. We will do some Fat Electrician today. We're running out of things to watch by Fat Electrician, so one of these days we're gonna have to find a new channel to binge. Or at the very least find a new history channel. We'll still keep up with daily uploads or weekly uploads from Mr. Electrician, but we're almost all the way caught up with everything that he has on both channels. Minus unsubscribed clip stuff, but I'm good on that for now. Yo, Reaper, what's good? Umbreon, what's up? Okay, so before we do anything like we usually do, dudes, I'm gonna check out some. Can't tell if that's just like. I gotta clean all my shit. Not as dirty as I've seen other microphones. Sorry. Anyways. We were checking. Oh, I think the reason I was gonna do a live on Saturday, right? So I think the reason that I didn't, because there was nothing to cover that day, and like I know that y'all probably had requests, but there was stuff to cover. It's just I didn't see it necessary to cover it immediately that day. I was like, okay, so if it's not even, because really what I was gonna do is oh, there's some more chap music. Watch later. What I was gonna do is I was gonna follow up on that story of the missing soldiers, and whenever I looked it up, they were like, oh, still looking. It was an update, but it was like still looking. I heard from a lot of people that they were dead at the time, but it hadn't been confirmed. And now, as I read this for the first time, they are confirmed dead. Now this is something interesting because it says 3 soldiers. It says 3 soldiers confirmed dead after vehicle pulled from Lithuanian swamp. But when I read the story, both days that I checked the story, it maintained that it was 4 soldiers. And the vehicle was an M88 Hercules armored vehicle. I never drove one of those vehicles. So, and I don't even recognize the name. And just off of the name, since I don't recognize the name, I can't even tell you what the fuck that looks like. But I'm guessing if I saw it, we'll type it in here in a second and we'll see what the vehicle looks like. But that pretty much confirmed my suspicions, bro. I was like, ain't no way these guys went AWOL. Ain't no way they're playing fuck games, because one of them would have become a pussy already and been like, alright guys, this has gone long enough. I don't want to get in trouble. Right? I knew it wasn't that. And kind of figured they were dead from the very beginning. That's why I mentioned in the very first video, I was like, bro, if y'all are alive, y'all are in hella trouble. But y'all are dead, really. So 3 of the 4. Okay, so it is acknowledging that there was 4. 1 survived? What? Or they just can't find the 4th? Did one of them get out of the vehicle? Oh, dude, you know what it was? They probably crashed in the mud One of the soldiers got out of the vehicle, was like, I'm gonna go find help. Got lost, never found help, and then these 3 fuckers just continued to sink. I don't know, bro. How fast did this vehicle sink to the point where they didn't even have time to make an egress? Three of the four U.S. soldiers who were reported missing at a Lithuanian training site last week were found deceased. Secretary of the Army Daniel Driscoll said Monday. The Army did not immediately release the names of the 3 soldiers who were all part of 1st Brigade, 3rd Infantry Division. The 4th soldier remains missing. I think that's the fucker that went for help. If anyone went for help. But why is a vehicle by itself, bro? Really, at the end of the day, you gotta ask yourself that question. The military, and this is Army, especially the Army, I can tell you firsthand, bro, they will beat this fucking battle buddy system into your head. And yes, you got battle buddies in the vehicle with you, but you need to have a whole ass other battle buddy in the form of a whole ass other vehicle with you, too. But then again, maybe that's a good thing that there wasn't anybody else with them, because they could have been part of the carnage. They could have sank just like this vehicle did, and now it's 2 vehicles, 8 dead, instead of 1 vehicle, 3 dead, right? So maybe it's a good thing that they were by themselves, and they didn't have a battle buddy. They didn't have a secondary vehicle watching their ass, because in the military, you always have someone watching your ass. Whether it be at the one-on-one level, at the squad level, at the platoon level, at the company level, someone's always watching your ass, right? And in this case, they had no one but themselves. So maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. Maybe the fact that they were by themselves is the reason they got into this predicament. Or maybe you could say that it's a good thing no one else was with them, because that'd probably be more who fucking knows. Really, at the end of the day, the Army did not immediately release the names of the 3 soldiers who were all okay. We will not rest until the 4th and final soldier is found and brought home. Does it get cold in Lithuania this time of year? I'm just trying to think, man. Maybe somebody did go for help. Maybe at one point they could get out of the vehicle. Maybe they could have gotten out of the vehicle the entire time, but chose to stay in it to brave the elements. They're like, man, I ain't staying out here. Let's just chill in the vehicle till someone comes and gets us. They fall asleep. They wake up the next day. They have sunk 15 feet. No words can truly capture the pain of this loss, especially when it was very avoidable. But my deepest condolences go out to the family. The confirmation came after recovery teams pulled from a Lithuanian peat bog Sunday night the M88A2 Hercules armored vehicle the soldiers were operating when they were reported missing March 25th. The Lithuanian Defense Ministry announced on social media Sunday that both Lithuanian military police and U.S. investigators were working the site after the vehicle was dislodged. At the time the soldiers reported missing, they had been conducting a maintenance mission to recover another Army vehicle at a training area near Pabadre, Lithuania. U.S. Army, Europe, and Africa said in a release. The soldiers were deployed. All right, dude, recovery. Hey, I think we talked about this in the first time we covered this story, but recovery. That's not a abnormal thing to train for or to be doing in the military. We did recovery shit, right? Because I did a lot of convoys in my day. So naturally, we did a lot of recovery training. We knew what to do. Usually, our recovery had a lot to do with our maintenance guys. Our maintenance guys operated the wreckers and all that stuff. So while I knew how to recover, I didn't know how to recover like them, you know? So it's a good thing to train on. No matter what branch MOS you have, you should know how to do this. This is the equivalent of changing your tire in the civilian world. Albeit, you know, you're recovering a whole other fucking vehicle, but still, you know? This is like AAA type shit. But everyone should know how to do this. So the vehicle that needed to be recovered, did that vehicle ever get recovered? Were those guys just waiting there like, hey, you know, these guys said they'd be here like 3 hours ago. Where are they? What happened to that vehicle? Did it ever get recovered? Was it still just waiting? Or was this just training? The vehicle could have left whenever the fuck it wanted, but they were like, hey, go recover it as a means of the training. When you recover vehicles in training, the vehicles you're recovering more than oftentimes they work, right? It's only until you get an actual shitty combat situation where your vehicle might not work, and that's an actual recovery. But for the sake of training, all the vehicles work, right? So for the sake of it, I hope that vehicle is just good, right? And it was just for training exercises, period. But either way, they choose how to run their training. I mean, when we went to the AT4 range, we actually had broken down vehicles out there, fucking hundreds of meters out, you know, that were just there. Some of it was just like pop-ups and shit like that, almost like cardboard or this kind of like tire material that they could make look into vehicles and stuff like that. But do military tell family members first before they tell the news about? Yes. At the very least, they try. And Logan, we don't cover music on YouTube, man. That was a back in the day thing. It's too hard. I cover music on Twitch, so if you want to follow me over on Twitch, and the next time I go live there, I will listen to your music, just not here on YouTube. Trying to get away from doing the whole music thing on YouTube. I have a dedicated place for music, and that's Twitch. Would love to, but not here today. And yes, the military tries to. It's called, I mean, I don't know what it's called here, but you know, when I was deployed, if someone died, we would go in blackout mode. No phones, no internet, everything would be shut down completely. No information in or out until the family members of that dead soldier are notified. Because the last thing you want is for a family member to find out that their loved one was killed in action on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram. That's a horrible look for the military. So yeah, 9 out of 10 times the family members will know before the media, before officials, before any of that. So the soldiers were deployed to Lithuania as part of Operation Atlantic Resolve, which has been sending rotations into Europe since Russia invaded the Crimea region of Ukraine in 2014. The soldiers were permanently stationed at Fort Stewart, Georgia. Holy ass. Could have been your boy. Could have been any of my boys, really. Holy. I used to be stationed there. The Raider family is heartbroken over the tragic loss of our soldiers. Colonel Jim Armstrong, commander of the 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division, said in a statement, "We are ensuring we provide the needed support to their families and our soldiers as we go through the process." The initial search for the soldiers included military helicopters, Lithuanian diving teams, and hundreds of U.S. and Lithuanian soldiers and law enforcement officers looking through thick forest, swampy terrain. March 26, search teams found the soldiers' vehicle 15 feet underwater. They drowned. I don't know how long it took them to drown, how long it took the vehicle to sink, how long it took them to die, but that is kind of what I figured. Like I said, those vehicles are good at taking bombs, explosives, very, very hard hits, keeping out water pressure. I don't think they excel at that, so naturally. And it's an army vehicle, man. Maybe a marine vehicle that can go in the water maybe would have survived this. I don't know, but for that long, I don't know. I don't know, bro. Underwater, and it's not just water. It's like swamp, bro. It's like mud, fucking dirt, shit, all types of stuff. JD, what's good? There was a breakthrough in the recovery effort Sunday when the Navy dive crew, after multiple failed attempts, attached steel cables to two of the hoist points on the M88. To get to the hoist points, divers maneuvered through layers of mud, clay, and sediment. Ugh. Yeah, dude. Even so check it. Even if no water enters that vehicle, 15 feet down, that thick of mud and clay, they suffocate either way. Either because of lack of oxygen, because you're 15 feet down in clay, or because the entire inside of the cab was full of water. So, either way, they perish here. 2 hours after the cables were attached, the vehicle was unearthed from the bog. By that time, the recovery team grew to include hundreds of personnel from multiple services and countries. Can I go? Earlier on Sunday, a mass was held at the cathedral. And a vigil, probably. We cannot thank our allies enough for everything they've done for us to help find our soldiers, Armstrong said. Yeah, dude. Never leave someone behind. Unless the mission is so extreme that you have no other choice, but this was pretty manageable. They see our soldiers as their own soldiers, and we're absolutely in this together. I mean, yeah, dude, they got lost. It's not like we're fighting, right? But then again, in a fight, I'm liable to shoot you just because that's one less gun. But in this, yeah, everyone can help. Friend or foe. Let's just help find these guys, right? They were found. Weirdest thing about this, there is a 4th service member that his whereabouts are unknown and his fate is unknown. Recovery personnel remained on site Monday searching for the 4th soldier. The army as well as Lithuanian authorities are investigating the cause of the incident. I mean, maybe there is no 4th soldier, dude. Has that occurred to anybody? Yo, congrats, man. You can officially buy alcohol and tobacco. Well, alcohol at the very least. They just changed the age for tobacco. It used to be 18. Changed it to 21 a couple years ago. Just for Texas at the time, but now I think that's a nationwide thing. Jeff, what's going on? Congrats, man. Happy birthday. I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. Yeah, this 4th soldier, he's gotta be dead too. Where would he be? Right? Where? The whole planet was looking for these guys. If there's a 4th soldier, if he's not dead, he would have made himself known. Which leads me to believe that I don't think there even was a 4th soldier. I think it was probably just 3 guys, and that's perfectly plausible. 3 guys in one of these vehicles? 3 guys can operate and man this vehicle, even in a combat situation. Hell, 3 of us operated a whole ass MRAP, and on one mission, which was very, very sketchy, and I can't even remember the specifics of what they said to me to even talk me into doing this, but at one point, only 2 of us operated a MAT-V. We had no gunner, we had no AG, we had no radios, we didn't even have a gun on top of the vehicle. Just straight up, a worthless truck with nothing on it that barely had gas, and we were like, the only way we can think to get this vehicle to where it needs to go is to just drive it. And the headlights didn't even work. We basically had to follow the taillights of the truck in front of us, which thank God was another gun truck, so I felt safe. But there was times, man, when we were deployed where, yeah, we were supposed to have 4 people in that vehicle, but there was just sometimes for certain missions, it was just 3. So if something happened to us, you know, the chain of command would probably assume, yo, there was 4 in that vehicle. There's usually 4. I've seen them go out on mission, and it's always 4, if not more, because technically MRAP can hold up to 7 or 8. I think 8. Anyways, and there was times where we did operate with just 3 people. Driver, TC, gunner. Didn't even have an assistant gunner. Like, it was my responsibility to literally dip down, grab some more ammo, and pull it up for myself. So, and on missions that it was just 3 of us, there should have been 4. Shit happens sometimes. So, was there actually 4? Or are you just assuming that there was a 4th person in that vehicle? Because there's always a 4th person in that vehicle, and naturally, a 4th person would be good for this vehicle because, you know, again, 4 people is what naturally you would put to operate one of these things. It's like an MRAP, just like a MAT-V, right? So, do you know for a fact that there was a 4th person? Or are you just operating under standard operating procedure and thinking and assuming that there should have been a fourth person, because for training purposes you would always have a fourth person in there. It's not like in combat where you can just take away and be like, we'll be fine here, right? For training purposes you always do it right. It's only when you get to combat where you start to cut corners and like be like, it's fine, right? So I don't know. I don't know. So wherever that soldier, I think that fourth soldier's dead. Or you know what? Maybe they were in the process of sinking. That fourth soldier was like, I think I can crawl through the mud. We're only like, it's only 5 feet. And if I don't come back, then I guess y'all are kind of, I don't know. How does one soldier get out of the vehicle and the other 3 remain in there to die? I'm telling you, man, I think one went for help. I think that they got stuck and they were like, oh shit. Fuck, man, go get help. We'll just chill here. Bet. I'll be back. But if that fucker went and got help, where did he go? What happened to him? Obviously, he knows that this is going down. Obviously, he knows that there's rescue efforts happening. He's not a moron. He's in the military. He would notice something, which leads me to believe that he died going to get help. How the hell that happens, I don't know. Or like the vehicle just started sinking so fast that he was like, I think I can get out, and he did make it out of the vehicle but didn't make it through all the mud and died in the mud. I don't know. It's wild, isn't it? I don't know. Chris, what's good? Moto Kid, what's good? Did y'all see the earthquake? Where? Is it California? I don't know. I'm interested to see what's going to come of this fourth missing soldier. But we'll see. It's funny. It's not funny, but I told my sister about this story the day it happened. That girl's grown cold. I held out a little bit of hope that they were just playing fuck games, or maybe they abandoned their post, or maybe some nice Lithuanian ladies showed them their boobies and they were like, yo, fuck this truck and work for the day. Let's go get drunk, and they passed out and completely forgot, right? I was hoping that was the case. I was hoping they were just being E4s. I was just hoping that this was just some like E4 mafia, y'all fucked up, y'all about to get in trouble type shit, but nope, my sister was like, oh, they're dead. I was like, wait, you know? She's like, no, I have a feeling. I just know. They're dead. I was like, good God, girl. You gotta... And she was right, bro. She didn't even blink when she said it. She's like, they're dead. I was like, what makes you say that? She's like, first off, Army. I was like, that's not even fair. We have Marines. Like... She's like, yeah, but it was all Army. I was like, that's besides the point. You didn't even... Whatever. We stay talking shit to each other. Go back. I think that this was the only interesting story. Well, aside from this one, but you know what I mean? Like, the only interesting thing that I saw, I mean, Joe Harris, believed to be the oldest surviving World War II paratrooper, has died. That's sad and that's noteworthy, but as far as like, I think that's on the same scale as these 3 missing groups, as far as must read news. So, and I didn't see anything else that really made me feel like I needed to read it. Stuff about TRICARE. Slap me if I ever read a fucking story about TRICARE. Click on it. So we'll do it in order. And if we got nothing else, we'll just move on to other stuff. That's fine. What earthquake are we talking about? Thailand? Oh, that's par for the course, right? Don't they have one every so often? Hegsith's younger brother is serving in a key role inside the Pentagon. I mean, I would make sure that y'all can keep operational security before we start hiring family members, but putting little brother in the Pentagon, meanwhile big brother's fucking up operational security. Come on, bro. Definitely like Trump a lot better than that geriatric dumb bastard Biden, but fuck, man. Don't make me look like an idiot. Don't make me look stupid for supporting ya. You fuck. I'm just saying. I'm still annoyed about that because what buffoon? What buffoon? USS Nimitz waves goodbye to San Diego for likely final deployment, and then what? The vessel's gonna get retired? Army to make a new missile defense radars after a year of troubleshooting. Oh, that's in response to... I think that's going to be in response to what Ukraine is dealing with Russia. Yeah, no. These stories right here are from like 4 days ago. Oh, second aircraft carrier on the way to join fight against the Houthis. They're in the process of finding out right now. I can't remember exactly what they did as per fucking around, but I know that the find out process is well underway. And it's only a matter of time before someone gets on national TV that looks like one of them and starts crying. America is like... Ah. See? Well, I mean... Pretty sure we warned you too. We be warning everyone. They say, you ain't gonna do shit. And then we fucking... And then they wanna cry. It's only a matter of time. Everyone does it whenever they get into a tango with America. They talk mad shit. America goes, oh yeah? Bam. And then they go... They're evil. Well, I mean... No one told you to fuck around, touch the boats, or... Nothing. Okay, that's it. We can get off this. U.S. Army plans Australia test of missile launcher that has irked China. Y'all won't do anything either. I'm just like... Alright. Gavin, what's up? The earthquake took down a whole building? Is there a video? Earthquake hits Myanmar. 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 Am I saying that right? Bro, does that say 7.7? Richter scale? That's gross. That's really high. Shit. Hold on, is this the actual video? Can I click on this? This was uploaded. Yeah, 7.7. That's nuts. Hold on. I think this is what we should have said when we were kids and they asked us what we thought the future was going to be like, and you know how all of our stupid asses said like flying cars and like we were going to live on the fucking moon or something. What we should have said is, teacher, the future consists of us watching another country have an earthquake in damn near almost real time. That's what the future is. And I'm pretty sure that, because there's CCTV everywhere, bro. I'm pretty sure there's like footage of this. It's wild. I could have seen this 3 days ago. I just didn't, but I had the opportunity to. That's what the future is. You can see a whole other fucking country have a natural disaster in real time. That's what the future was. That's not good. Let me fast forward a little bit. Is this no, is this after? Or this is probably during? This right here is like the worst place to be in the case of an earthquake. Do you know how many people die if this building loses its structural integrity and it just goes down and collapses? Okay, this is I'm sorry. I hate that. Like I want to get to. Okay, sorry. This video kind of blows. Let me go to something else. Guardian.
เฮ้ยข้างบนแม่งแกว่งแล้ว
Oh my god. It actually did bring down a whole ass building. Jesus Christ. And if that doesn't give you some 9/11 flashbacks right there, this whole scene, the smoke coming at you, people running in the opposite direction of the smoke, a whole ass tower just fell. That's fucking, yo. I know America collectively had a fucking little flashback right there when they, good lord. Y'all were this close? Oh. Bro, did y'all not feel the earthquake happening? I mean, I don't want to talk shit or anything, but I feel like some of you kind of have like a zero survival instincts. I mean, it's an earthquake, and this looks like a building that ain't done yet, which means it's under construction, which means that it's more liable to fall than buildings that are done, and y'all just hanging around at the base of it. Y'all crazy as hell. I don't know, but I don't know. David, what's good? That's nice. Look at the birds, bro. Look at the birds. That's probably the freakiest thing about this. An earthquake, the collapse of a building, and all the fucking birds are going crazy. Ugh. That's... From what it seems, I don't know about other collateral damage that happens with an earthquake, but it seems like not many people were injured? I hope? Oh, okay, so I'm wrong. Someone says even under construction, a building shouldn't collapse like that. Well then, what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? I think that means that this earthquake basically just exposed whoever is in charge of building safety, building code, infrastructure, turnbuckles, whatever the fuck goes into building a building and making sure it don't fall, somebody's being lazy, somebody's taking shortcuts, and somebody's not doing it right. And the earthquake just exposed it. So, if what that person said in the comment section is to be true, then somebody's in trouble. Somebody's. One person is not in charge of putting up a whole building. It's a group of people. Who do you think it is? I think that the person at fault here wears a really nice suit, has gel in his hair, and has $4,000 shoes. These guys right here, these workers, hey man, I just work here. You know what I'm saying? So that's just it is a commenter, but at the end of the but you got to look at this. This commenter, 1.1K thumbs up. That means a lot of people agree with the statement, and I would like to assume that someone who is in construction is part of those 1,100 people that said, "Yep, you're absolutely right." I mean, but again, let's take it with a grain of salt, shall we? I suppose. Silver lining that the quake occurred before the building was inhabited. You think the building still falls if it's done? Because there's plenty of buildings in Thailand that didn't fall. You also have to look at that. Oh, no, man. I'm just glad I live and I am from a place where this is not an occurrence for me. I feel pretty lucky. Having pretty much, as far as America goes, having pretty much grown up and lived in the South for a majority of my life. And the only thing I really have to deal with is just like a little bit of rain from call OSHA. Oh, dude. No, I don't think they have OSHA, but OSHA should be there. And OSHA's probably having a fucking conniption right now. They're like, oh my god, you better be glad you're Thailand, because where's OSHA worldwide? I don't know. I'm guessing it's the state construction company that dropped the ball. That's wild. Rachel Zegler goes off after Snow White bombs at the box office. It bombed bad, bros. Hella bad. Anybody seen it yet? Anybody? Anybody at all? Has anyone ventured to... And it's not that I have a problem with watching bad movies. I've seen plenty of bad movies that I actually enjoy because they were so shit that they were good. But something tells me that this movie's not one of those movies. It's so bad that it's good. I like that genre. You ever seen a movie called Superfast? Oh, that movie's so good. It's horrible. But it's like a parody of the Fast and Furious franchise, and it's so fucking garbage that it's just hilarious. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't think that's the case though with Snow White. So. However, I don't think Moonfall falls in that category. Moonfall was not so fun. It was not so bad. It was good. Moonfall was just bad. Fire Twister was actually so shit. It was good. Piranhas, Sharknado, all that shit. So garbage, but it's good because of how garbage it is. I can appreciate it. But then there's just some movies that they fit that description of garbage, but they tried to take themselves seriously as a film, and it's just like... No. I was just curious, is all. Wait, what? Death toll rises to more than 1,000? Oh my god. That's so bad. Jesus. And I don't think we're ever going to reach a time in history where we can predict these things. It's not like predicting the weather. It's not like predicting a hurricane. It's not like predicting rain. Talking about tectonic plates. I don't think a technology exists to predict their shift or their movement, or what their shifting and movement would even produce. I don't know. Maybe one day. I mean, dude, if y'all really want to do a music stream, we can do one tomorrow. If y'all want. Because apparently y'all have been missing them, so. Okay. Dude. I kind of want to watch this. 15 minutes of massive red flags. That's just... I think shit like that's funny. But we can watch whatever y'all want to watch next, but I do have that in my watch later. That's what I want to watch. I see that it's double posting. There's some new chat music, but let's okay, let's see. Let's track all this shit. Oh, some chat music. Okay. I'm down. Well, it's right here. Hold on, let me just click on it and go to most recent. What's it called? Tons of what? Tons and rows. Oh, it's chat music too. Hold on. This is the only music we'll do here because this music won't get blocked, copyrighted, fucking nothing. Everything else that should be done on Twitch. And if y'all really want to do some music, because y'all actually have been like on my ass about it past couple days, we'll do some tomorrow. But if y'all aren't there, I swear to God, I'll end the stream so fast and I'll come back to YouTube. Tons and... I get it now. In my head, I was like, "Don't you mean tons of roses?" I was assuming it was gonna be talking about like that chick or something, but no, I got it.
I chose AMU because of the affordability, and I needed a school that would allow me to work full time. But
her eyes are really far apart. It's wild. Okay, hold on. Here we go. I love how it stayed in the same rhythm of the guitars. Usually when we hear chop music, it's like it's its own thing, it's its own unique sound. It's the same sound, but this is great. This actually goes along with the theme of the music with the instrumentals.
Of a pound, slim nut macaroon 5. Van Halen, all the food, the Diabeatles, Metallica, Hamstein. OBC.
Fucking Hamstein is OBCD.
Cigarettes after snacks, 30 seconds to the buffet.
Oh my god.
Led Zeppelin, Linkin Park, Stevie Wonders, if you'll see his next birthday. Post Malone featuring Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj. Imagine Donuts, another one bites the crew.
That was good. Guns N' Roses.
Fleetwood Mac and Cheese. One Digestion. Rage Against the Cardio Machine. Shrimp Floyd.
This is-
Guns N'
this-
Roses.
This one.
Picnic at the Disco. No Green Day. Blink 182. Panic at the Bistro. The Eagles. Corn syrup. Limp brisket. Food Finders.
Oh, that's so good.
Ed Sheeran, Michael
Sheeran.
Lester, Romance Food Fighters.
Somebody said Fed Sheeran. Oh. Oh, and that's great, bro. And they have a sense of humor too. Thanks for all the comments. Y'all are funny as hell. Fantastic. You gotta own it sometimes. Oh my god. Oh, dude, we haven't done any of these, and maybe we should. Jesus Christ. This right here is wild. Bro can see in 360. Dog. He's looking at me and my future. Like, he can already see where I'm going, and I haven't even moved yet. You see that fucker's eye? That can't be a real one. That's gotta be like... Have you watched American Film Tornado? No. I think we've done Tom McDonald's. Have we? I don't know, man. But y'all really want to get back to the music, huh? Let me see what... I'm not doing it now. I just want to see what it is to see if we've done it or not. Oh, that one. Okay. We'll do that. We'll see one. Oh, and I had one more try not to laugh that we never did. No, we haven't done the new Tom McDonald. Okay. Oh, watch what? Oh, okay. We'll see what we got. Oh, well, we do have to watch some Fat Electrician. I guess it is my choice. Okay, so there's this one. There's one we didn't do, which was Year of the Fails, how 2025 is going so far, so we can do that. We can do maybe that one if y'all want to. 15 minutes of red flags. I'm just interested to see what it is. See what they are. Just to see if if I have the same standards. But if y'all want to check out some Fat Electrician first, we can. The bunker busting howitzer that ended Desert Storm? We've never seen that. I'd like to learn a little bit more about Desert Storm, I suppose. I have a dad that fought in it, but he won't tell me a goddamn thing. So my only way of finding anything about this in particular is to just watch videos on it. What? Devil May Cry official lyric video Afterlife by Evanescence by Netflix? Huh? Strange. Kind of cool, I guess. Oh, I never watched that one. We watched the male loneliness video. We never watched the female loneliness video by Shoe on Head. 129 ways to get a husband. Jesus Christ. My God. I can give you 3 surefire right now, and they're so easy. See? Overcomplicating shit. $129 ways. I only know of 3, and I am a dude. That's crazy.
Dove, Man Plus Care, whole body DO.
Never heard of that. Have I? No, I have not watched Cyberpunk 2077 anime Edge Runners. I've scrolled past it on Netflix. I don't have any intention on actually watching it. Oh, that's just you. That's... That's what you want to watch, David? What dinosaurs were really like? Can I just do another Fat Electrician video right after this instead of doing that? Or is there anything else you're interested besides that? Because I think dinosaurs are cool and all, bro, but...
Family proof your family.
If you really want to, bro, I'll sit through it, but I mean...
We're talking about that time that...
20 minutes about how dinosaurs were really like, that doesn't really seem... That doesn't get me horny. You know what I'm talking about, David? You know? But we'll do it.
Today we're talking about that time that America may or may not have prematurely ended the Gulf War by creating a new type of bunker buster bomb known as the GBU-28, which is literally the barrel of a howitzer that they filled full of explosives and dropped on the enemy. Yeah, Uncle Sam ran out of ammo and threw the entire gun at the enemy. But first, a word from our sponsor.
I don't think that I would have ever thrown my weapon at the enemy. I think that once I ran out of ammo, I would have put myself in a position to where he has to come find me in CQB. And once he comes and finds me in CQB, I'm gonna beat his ass with the fucking buttstock of that rifle. I'm gonna grab my rifle by the barrel like a fucking Louisville Slugger, and as soon as he comes through that door, bam, hit him once, drop the rifle, and then beat the shit out of him. That's the plan. I'm not gonna throw the whole weapon at you. I can get one solid good swing without you looking. That one solid good swing is all I need to daze you and then choke you the fuck out. So, wouldn't throw it, but I'd still use it. Okay, David. Sounds good, man. I will run it.
This video is brought to you by Warwood Tools, where for
Oh.
over 160 years they've been making crowbars and axes and sledgehammers right here in America with American-grown wood and American-made 1060 high-carbon steel. And I'm gonna have their link and a discount code in the description down below in case you wanted to check them out. Let's get to this story. All right, buckle up. This is gonna be a history lesson and a half. Once upon a time on August 2nd, 1990, Iraq decides to invade Kuwait. Why would Iraq want to do this? Well, Iraq just got done having an 8-year-long war with Iran, and Kuwait helped fund it. If so facto, Iraq owes Kuwait billions and billions of dollars. Rather than pay all that money back, Iraq's dictator, Iraq's dictator, Saddam Hussein, figures, rather than pay back all that money, I'm just going to invade Kuwait with my enormous army that's the 4th largest army on the planet at this point in time, take over Kuwait, and then I won't owe anybody any money. It's not ethical, but it does make sense. And then pretty much nothing happened for like 3 months. But then in November of 1990, Saddam Hussein would do what dictators do best and get a little too greedy. You see, he figured now that he was in control of Iraq and Kuwait, it was a significant portion of the world's oil supply, so he could actually slow down oil production, which would jack up global fuel prices, and he would literally make more money for doing less work. And while that was economically sound, it would turn out to be a tactical fucking error, because as soon as gas prices went up, the entire planet looked at Saddam Hussein like,
So you
Oh.
a superior smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. So you have chosen.
And that's how you lose everything that you have built in the blink of an eye. If it affects the whole fucking planet, that's how you lose it. You know, it's like people always question like, yo, how could the board of directors just push you out of your own company? It's your company. You built it. How can anyone push you out and just take it from you? Well, because when you're putting the whole ass collective at risk on some dumb shit, that can happen. And that's essentially what happened here. I don't feel bad for this guy. It sucks to suck. Got your ass whooped for fucking around.
The UN Security Council would then hold another meeting where they would decide to tell Saddam Hussein, you have until January 15th, 1991 to be out of Kuwait or you will be forcibly removed. Fast forward to January 15th, he is elected to not leave Kuwait. Game on, teams are now set. We have Iraq versus America and a team of fucking literally everyone else. Fast forward again like 48 hours, January 17th, 2:30 a.m. American and coalition forces will begin their air campaign against Iraq. And there will
Everyone always thinks they're the good guy, right? But look at whenever conflict starts. If it's just you versus everybody, I think the problem is you. And I don't even know if they see it that way. Because again, everyone looks at themselves like they're the hero, the bad guy, you know? We do it a lot. America always looks at themselves like we're the saviors. But in all reality, to quite a few countries, we're fucking evil, man, as fuck. And they teach people that. They teach their children that we're just the worst, right? But I think that even us, if we got to a point where the entire world was saying, hey, fix your shit, we would be able to be like, okay, all right, I get it now. I didn't realize that y'all all had a problem with this. But these motherfuckers don't care, bro. They don't care. I can't imagine why, because not giving a fuck is going to be your undoing, but
will be over 1,000 aircrafts involved. Everything from B-52s to Apache attack helicopters. It's going to be a warheads on
Katai, what's up, by the way? How are you? Hope you're having a good Monday.
foreheads extravaganza. And just for context on how dangerous this mission is actually going to be, because I feel like most people don't know or don't understand how powerful the Iraqi military actually was at this point in time, they were the 4th largest military on the planet, and they were the most heavily fortified nation on Earth. As far as air defense goes, Iraq had 154 surface-to-air missile sites servicing 16,000 missiles, 972 anti-aircraft artillery platforms, 2,400 anti-aircraft guns, 6,000 mobile anti-aircraft guns, 478 early warning radar arrays, and 558 combat aircraft on standby, all ready to get in a fight. That being said, fast forward again 2.5 hours, January 17th, 5 a.m., American and coalition forces have complete air superiority over Iraq and have dismantled all of that shit. And this is
Because this is what happens when, on paper, yes, they are the 4th strongest country in the world. On paper, but it only looks that way because you gave the JV billions of dollars worth of budget. So you got all this fancy equipment, you got all these guns, and you got all these things. But do your soldiers know how to operate them? Are you even proficient with these platforms, these weapons, these gadgets? Can you use them, man? Because it's like buying a 7-year-old a car. Even if they wanted to, they're still not fucking shit they can do with that thing. And if they even begin to try, it's not gonna work. Depends on the 7-year-old, but you know what I mean?
This is where the main problem arises. With complete air superiority, there's a good chance that they can actually make Iraq surrender without US and coalition ground forces having to go into Iraq. But the problem is the majority of the Iraqi senior leadership, as well as pretty much their entire command and control infrastructure, is located inside of bunkers right outside of Baghdad. And these bunkers are 30 to 50 feet underground, and the walls are made out of 4 feet thick reinforced concrete. There's no bomb or weapon that America has that they can use from a plane to take.
Bullshit. Yeah, we do. Called George Clooney, Ice Cube, and Mark Wahlberg. I'm kidding. If you don't know what movie I'm talking about, shame on you. It's such a good movie. Came out in the 90s called Three Kings. Anyways.
Out these bunkers. So America's gonna do the last thing you ever want America to do. They're gonna improvise. I mean, the obvious solution is just to make a bigger, better bunker buster bomb, but the problem with that is they don't have any infrastructure to make a bigger bomb, and they're not gonna be able to build that infrastructure and build the bomb in the amount of time it's gonna take before American ground troops invade Iraq. Because once they do, they're gonna be in a hurry because they're under the command of 4-star Army General Stormin Norman Schwarzkopf, aka the Bear. A man whose life motto
Best uniform ever. No argument.
General Stormin Norman Schwarzkopf, aka the Bear. A man whose life motto was, when placed in command, take charge, and he does not think highly of his adversary. When asked what he thought about Saddam Hussein, he said, and I quote, you know what, no, he'll say it.
As far as Saddam Hussein being a great military strategist, he is neither a strategist, nor is he schooled in the operational art, nor is he a tactician, nor is he a general, nor is he as a soldier.
I can pretty much shorten that down to a couple words. He ain't a has-been. He was a never was. That's essentially what he said in a lot of words because, you know, Norman was feeling himself this day. And he's like, I'm so glad you asked. I'm about to verbally wreck this fucker right before I physically wreck this fucker.
A strategist, he is neither a strategist, nor is he schooled in the operational art, nor is he a tactician, nor is he a general, nor is he as a soldier. Other than that, he's a great military man. I want you to know that.
So they have to make this bomb in a hurry if they want to prevent ground forces from going.
He's just a punk bitch with a lot of money. That's
into Iraq. That's when somebody has the brilliant idea of using a howitzer barrel as the bomb's hull. I mean, it should work. It's a long, heavy piece of metal that's already heat treated, so it should penetrate concrete. And that's the idea they roll with. The Air Force gets a hold of the US Army. The US Army sends over 4 8-inch decommissioned M110 howitzer barrels to Watervliet Arsenal in New York. Watervliet Arsenal, being one of the most elite gun barrel manufacturers on the planet, gets to work immediately. They start milling and machining these barrels down to size so that they can fit pre-existing bomb components like nose cones and fins and so on. And Watervliet Arsenal tells the US Air Force they can have 4 of these bombs done in a week, which I cannot stress to you enough is absolutely insane. To be able to machine 4 gun barrels that are 19 feet long and weigh 4,500 pounds each and are already heat treated is incredible. If you don't know about heat treating, when you heat treat metal, it becomes significantly harder, and that's actually why they needed the howitzer barrels, but it also makes it virtually impossible to machine. I mean, not impossible, but significantly harder to machine. Think about like trying to spread butter on toast versus trying to spread frozen butter on toast. That's about the difference there. So they get the first bomb done, but then they run into a problem. Because they've never worked with a bomb this big, they don't have any way to actually stand it up straight and be able to fill it with explosive. So if you can't pick a bomb up, what do? You beat the earth down. They take it outside, dig a hole, stick the bomb in the hole, standing up, so that they can fill this thing with explosive. They get that done, paint it, stick it on a C-130 while the paint is still wet, and ship it to Nevada. From there, they strap the bomb to an F-111, the same plane they plan on dropping it from in combat, and do a test run. This bomb penetrates the desert floor by over 100 feet. Okay, if you're not American, that's like the world's biggest blue whale, all the way into the ground. This bomb went so deep that they didn't even have time to recover it. They're like, fuck it, we don't have time. Storm and Norman's coming. We gotta go. Just leave it. Then, back at Watervliet Arsenal, they finish the second bomb. This time, they fill it with concrete because they want to do a rocket sled test in Aglin Air Base in Florida. So they get this thing done, fill it with concrete, put it on a C-130 while the paint's still wet, ship it to Florida. From there, they strap it to a rocket sled and yeet it at 22 solid feet of reinforced concrete just to see how far it will penetrate. Not only did this bomb penetrate all 22 feet of concrete, but it then proceeded to go an extra half a mile. This video should have been my fucking Valentine's Day special with how much penetration is in it. It's incredible. So then, back at Watervliet Arsenal, they finish the last 2 actual bombs that are going to be dropped in combat, put them on a C-130 again, and ship them across the planet to Iraq. Now, bear in mind, all of this has happened in like a matter of 3 weeks. They have gone from retired howitzer barrels to new bombs, to testing them in Nevada, to testing them in Florida, to having them in an active combat zone.
In less than a month.
In 3 weeks, which is the biggest logistical flex I may have ever heard of. Nothing stokes human creativity greater than the desire to kill somebody that you don't like. I'm not saying it's right, but god damn it, it's the truth. Now, February 27th, these bombs are strapped to 2 F-111 aardvarks, and they are sent into combat to engage these bunkers. The first F-111 lines up his shot, and he fucking misses.
Ow! I'm not gonna talk shit, bro, because that job's actually really hard to be a pilot, but like, I mean, you're in the desert. There's literally nothing else to hit, unless you got the wrong coordinates and dropped at the wrong place, but how?
Negative. Didn't go in.
But the second F-111 drains a 3-pointer and gets a direct hit. Smoke immediately starts rolling out of the vents for this bunker, and it is completely obliterated. And the very next day, Saddam Hussein would sign a ceasefire and agree to leave Kuwait. Now, did he do that because of this bunker buster bomb? That part is actually impossible to say because despite—
I'm pretty sure. Because that's where he was hiding. That's the only place he could have hidden. And he knew that it was only a matter of time before they found his bunker, man. Because the fact that we destroyed that bunker, that was just confirmation that our ammunition actually worked. We only made 4 of them. Ain't no sense in making 15, and then the first one doesn't work, the second one doesn't work. We just made a whole bunch of useless shit. We made 4. The first one worked, which means the other 3 are gonna work, and we can drop those 3. The more bunkers we find, the more bombs we'll make. And he knew that. It's only a matter of time before they find my bunker. The fact that they can even hit the bunker and reach that far down, I'm fucked, because this is the only place I have to hide. That's... I don't give up now. At what? I last a week, a month, a year, 2. It doesn't matter. They're after me, and they're never gonna stop. So Might as well give up now. That's Dallas. What's good?
Despite the fact they got this bomb done and dropped in only 3 weeks, they still were unable to get it done quick enough before US and coalition ground forces would invade Iraq. And in the 4 days that those ground forces were in Iraq, they completely decimated the Iraqi army, and parts of that army were already starting to surrender to them. So whether the reason that Saddam Hussein decided to surrender was because his army was defeated, or because he finally found out that he couldn't hide inside of his bunker anymore safe while he sent men out to die,
I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. He did the, he literally pulled an Adolf, but without killing himself.
is hard to say. But regardless, in conclusion, the overall
He was afraid of what was going to happen if he gave the enemy any more time. And he was deathly afraid of what was going to happen if they fucking captured his ass. So, run along.
moral of this story is whatever you do, try not to raise gas prices. Thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
Yeah, because gas prices don't just affect Americans. We're simply the first ones to stand up and be like, hey, that's bullshit. that's really it. The whole world hates it whenever gas goes into a little fucking flux or a fit, or it does something, or it goes up or it goes down, or someone causes it to do something, right? The whole world freaks out. It's just that, oh, we're the first ones to say it. Hey, cut that shit out, man. Just fucking around, I suppose. It's always our job to say something. I feel like there's a lot of countries that look at us that they're just like, hey, America, country over there is doing some weird shit. Can you go say something? Why don't you say something? Yeah, but they're afraid of you. If we say something, they're gonna laugh in our face. I guess we will go say something to them, I suppose. What's it called, Vince? Is it some more Fat Electrician? I'm down for some more Fat Electrician. What is it? The Ghost of Bataan. Arthur Wormuth. A one-man army with 116 kills. What's the time? What's the time span for all these 116 kills? Did my man have a machine gun? Because if he didn't get all these kills in a very, very small amount of time with a weapon system that can put out a high volume of ammunition, then that means that he acquired all 116 of these kills over the course of time. And if that's the case, he is way more badass than I originally imagined. That's why I asked, what's the time frame of all these kills? Did he get 116 kills within 4 years? Or did he get 116 kills in one battle? If he got 116 kills over the course of 5 years, I feel like that's way more badass than getting 116 kills in one battle. 116 kills in one battle, you only have to survive once. 116 kills over the course of 5 years, you have to survive a lot. That's a lot of bullets coming at you. That's a lot of explosions. That's a lot of different firefights. That's a lot of different enemies. That's a lot of different scenarios. That's a lot of different situations that at any moment could not go your way, and that could be the end of you. But they did for 5 years. That's more significant than 116 KD in one day. Which is still impressive. I'm not scoffing at it. I'm just saying. We're going to find out. 3 to 4 months, that's wild. Because, you know, we did do a Fat Electrician video where someone did rack up, like, I don't know, 90-something kills with a machine gun in, like, 2 hours. Because the enemy was in a fucked up spot and they tried to push an area they shouldn't have pushed. And homie had high ground, a machine gun, it was a massacre, right? That's one thing. But, yeah... 3 to 4 months, 6 months, in that time, you get all those kills. That's impressive. Just running through the six, dude, not giving a fuck. Like, my man is literally like, remember the movie Wanted? Remember the last scene of the movie? Which is utterly ridiculous. But remember where he's literally just like, he kills one guy and then transitions to another kill and then another kill, and then he sticks the barrel of his weapon inside this guy's head as he blows his eyeball off, and then his gun is sticking out of this guy's skull, and he's still killing more people with this guy's head in his hand while the gun is inside his brain. And that's what I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of this guy. I'm thinking of just like rifle, knife kill, snap your neck, kick you in the balls, a clean mama joke, right? And then back to the rifle. I feel like this guy's doing everything. He's playing every position. He's the private, he's the E4, he's the sergeant, he's the commander, he's the gunner, he's the assistant gunner, well, he's that guy.
If you were to ask me to name one person,
That's it. That's all you can say. He's that guy. You know? Yo, let me take a quick smoke break before we start this. Y'all don't mind. If y'all could be so gracious to give me a moment. Damn, no way. 1.6 out of 10? That's a horrible score no matter what you're doing. Oh my god, I'm just trying to find something that y'all can listen to that won't... Where is it? Plenty of stuff here. I'm just trying to get to the copyright-free shit that I can just play and step away. Here. Christ. Alright. Okay. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, we're good. Sorry. Y'all ready? Oh, dude. So I forgot to tell you guys. I caught my niece using profanity. I was going downstairs. I don't even think she realized I was home. This was over the weekend. I was going downstairs because I was going to the backyard to smoke. And she's downstairs in her mother's room. And I have to walk past the room to get to the backyard, because in order to get to the backyard, you got to go through the laundry room, and the laundry room is right there by, the room she's in. And I'm walking in, and all of a sudden, I just hear her 4-year-old voice say, "Motherfucker." She stubbed her toe against the bed and said, "Motherfucker." And I was like, what in the shit is going on? Hell no. Where did you learn that, bro? And I ended up getting to the bottom of it. I was like, where did you learn that? And she's like, TV. I was like, what TV? She's like, a TV show. I was like, it's nothing that I watch, because I don't let you watch what I watch. So you didn't learn it from me, and you didn't learn it from the stuff that I watch. Where did you learn this from? She's like, a show that Lela watches. Lela's her grandmother. I was like, what show is this? So I call. And I'm like, hey, what? And she was also over here this weekend watching the show. I just don't pay attention whenever she's like here or whatever she does. And I'm like, hey, what? I call it, which is, I call her and I'm like, hey, what TV show you been watching? She's like, Shameless. I was like, oh my Lord. I was like, you need to turn that down whenever she's around, or like, because she's like, why? I was like, 'cause she can hear it. And she just repeated something from it. And she's like, oh, what? I was like, motherfucker. And she's like, no. I was like, yeah, man, turn it down or something. Like, oh, fuck it. Shameless. I don't watch Shameless. My hand does. But I was like, dude, that's fucking, that's insane. So basically, had to have, and she was so afraid that she was gonna get in trouble. I was like, you're not gonna get in trouble with me. I was like, just don't let your mother hear you when she gets home.
If you were to ask me to name one person off the top of my head that should have been awarded the Medal of Honor but wasn't, it would be a toss-up between...
I'm just glad that she didn't get it from me or anything that was of influence from me. Because then... No. Because then people will be judgmental and they'll talk shit. Oh, he's a bad influence or something. And all the bad shit she knows, she learned it from him. No, not me. No, sir. That was not my fault. So, I had to make that known.
Jake McNasty McNeese, and this
guy. We watched
guy.
that video.
Today we're talking about the one-man army, Arthur Wehrmuth, or as the Imperial Japanese Army referred to him, the Ghost of Bataan. This video is brought to you by Operation Good Boy. It's an online subscription service that every month will send you and your dog a care package.
I knew
This
it.
month, me and Mushu got a first aid kit for when we go on walks, a water bottle for when we go on walks, some dog poop picker-upper bags, some daily supplements for him, and a couple bags of his favorite treats, TREs, treats ready to eat. Right, Mushu?
That's awesome. So it's
Good job. See, Mushu approves. If you're not really into online subscription boxes, you can also buy the treats, the supplements, or the gear individually over at OperationGoodBoy.com. And regardless of what you get, you're going to get 15% off when you use.
Is it veteran owned? Is that why it's called what it's called? Because this reminds me of this just reminds me of like Chewy or something. I don't know.
Use the discount code QUACK15. So go check them out. Thanks. Let's get back to the video. All right, important background info. December 7th, 1941, Japan attacks America at Pearl Harbor. Okay, everybody knows what Pearl Harbor is, but what most people don't realize is that while Japan was attacking America, they were also simultaneously launching attacks on pretty much every other nation and island in the Pacific. Hong Kong, Wake Island, Guam, Malaya, Singapore, Thailand, all of these nations and islands would fall to the Japanese within 3 months. All of them except for one. The Philippines. If you don't know, at this point in time, the Philippines is actually a territory under the United States of America, who had assumed control of the Philippines from Spain after the Spanish-American War in 1898. Because of that, there was already 22,000 soldiers there. Now, don't get me wrong, they weren't expecting to get attacked. The majority of these soldiers, 12,000 of them, are non-combat related jobs or they're Filipino reservists. But that
Damn. You talk about you clear that entire damn near that entire side of the world of your enemies. And then you get to a group of people that combat's not even their primary objective, not their primary job. It's not even why they're there. And not only do they fend you off, but I'm pretty sure they embarrass you. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. All right. What I'm saying is that I don't know. This would be like Wayne Gretzky losing to me in hockey. Kind of. That's the equivalent of. That's the implications of this.
that other 10,000 was the Philippine Scouts. And I cannot stress to you enough that these guys are absolute gangsters. They were founded in 1901 by the U.S. Army. It is a
Hold on, I gotta go back. I missed some shit.
22,000 soldiers there. Now, don't get me wrong, they weren't expecting to get attacked. The majority of these soldiers, 12,000 of them, are non-combat related jobs or they're Filipino reservists. But that other 10,000 was the Philippine Scouts. And I cannot stress to you enough that these guys are absolute gangsters. They were founded in 1901 by the U.S. Army. It is essentially Filipino and Filipino-American soldiers being led by American officers, and they are experts in guerrilla, anti-guerrilla, and jungle warfare. These are the guys that fought the Tan Sung rebels during the Moro Rebellion. They are literally the men that America's patron saint of hole punching, John Moses Browning, created the Colt 45 1911 for. They are the direct predecessor of the Philippines' current special forces.
I was literally about to say that they're Filipino special forces. They're bad to the bone. They're badass.
Scout Rangers, and they are probably some of, if not the last people on the planet that you want to fight in the jungle. And one of the American officers leading these men is none other than Arthur Wehrmuth, son of a World War I veteran that grew up in Chicago. For high school, he would attend Northwestern Military Academy, and after graduating from there, he would be denied by West Point because the only thing he excelled at in life was football and winning fistfights. His football coach said that defensively he was a tough man to get through, and offensively many points were scored through holes that he opened. Despite being rejected by West Point, he still wanted to be a military officer, so he would go to college at Loyola University in Chicago.
I still don't understand why that's such a disqualification. So he's a little rough around the edges, and he likes to fight. I mean, I would love to send people that love to fight into combat and into war. I just feel like everyone wins, right? Yet a lot of these dudes are overlooked because, they're a little bit rambunctious. Well, he gets into a couple of fights. Maybe he beats the shit out of a fellow officer. Who knows? But their value on the battlefield, y'all just throw that away. But I don't know, I'm just saying.
Where he would join the ROTC program and get his bachelor's degree in bacteriology, which would later become known as microbiology. So after graduating from college and receiving his commission as a military officer, he would write the United States War Department requesting to get put on active duty. He would get accepted and sent over to the Philippines, where he would arrive in January of 1941 to train with the Philippine Scouts. Fast forward 11 months later, the Japanese show up and they attack. Filipino and American forces are not ready. They are outmanned, outgunned in every conceivable way. At this point, leadership decides their best bet is to pool all of their resources and have everybody move to the Bataan Peninsula. They are essentially going to back themselves into a corner, draw one line in the sand, and desperately try to hold that line long enough for American reinforcements to show up. It's not a great plan, but it's pretty much the only thing they can do. And if that wasn't bad enough, there's actually a problem with that. The Japanese are advancing so fast that they're going to be able to cut off the route to Bataan before everybody can actually make it there.
So they're going to get cut in half, and some are going to be unfortunately behind enemy lines.
Now, Arthur Wehrmuth and the rest of the 57th Infantry Regiment are going to have to go and fight the Japanese on the front line, desperately trying to hold them off long enough for all the other people to retreat. General Wainwright gives them the order to dig in and hold, and that's exactly what Arthur and his men do. At this point, Arthur is in command of Delta Company of the 57th Infantry Regiment, which is roughly 150 Philippine scouts, and for the next 2 weeks, they go toe-to-toe with the Japanese army, desperately trying to hold them off long enough for everybody else to retreat. This was how Arthur and his men would spend Christmas of 1941, dealing heavy losses to the enemy. Nice. But by New Year's, they had faced the same thing and endured heavy losses themselves. By the first week of January 1942, Arthur's 150 men had dwindled down to just 37. At this point, it became clear that they were not going to be able to hold the front line, at which point they were ordered to...
Let me listen to this one more time.
...losses to the enemy. But by New Year's, they had... with the Japanese army, desperately trying to hold them off long enough for everybody else to retreat. This was how Arthur and his men would spend Christmas of 1941, dealing heavy losses to the enemy. But by New Year's, they had faced the same thing and endured heavy losses themselves. By the first week of January 1942, Arthur's 150 men had dwindled down to just 37. At this point, it became clear that they were not...
That's pretty horrible, but still, at the same time, given the sudden nature of the attack and the defense, and given the implications of it, had they not held that, all of these civilians, they can't get away, they can't retreat, because that was like the whole thing. They were going to do that, but they got caught midway with their pants down, so they had to respond to that. And the fact that they responded to that on the fly like that, they took a lot of casualties, but they didn't break, right? So that's a plus. And not to mention, they're soldiers, which you're there for.
Not going to be able to hold the front line, at which point they were ordered to retreat back.
It sucks to say it like that, right? But at the end of the day, that's your job. You die so that others may live. It is what it is. So the soldiers that died there, salute, and I'm sorry, but that's where you were needed. So that's...
to Bataan, but Arthur had a plan to slow down the Japanese even further. Arthur volunteers to sneak back into a city that recently fell to the Japanese by himself, because in that city there's a wooden bridge, and that wooden bridge is going to prove vital for the Japanese to quickly move troops further inland. And if Arthur can get rid of it, it is going to severely hamper their ability to do so. So Arthur is going to sneak into this city by himself with demo charges, his Thompson submachine gun, and 2 5-gallon jugs of gasoline. He is...
I like it already. I don't have anything negative to say.
Then going to make his way to Main Street under the cover of night, dump the gasoline all over the buildings, and light Main Street on fire.
You know, I really do feel like this plan, I would have employed it a lot for just like that. I feel like this could be for a lot of different scenarios, really. I really like this plan. In some cases, I would probably do this even if the plan didn't warrant it, just because it's fun, right? Just... Sir, we didn't need to blow that bridge. Fuck it. It'll look cool when we do, though.
Once all the buildings in Main Street are engulfed in flames, that is a signal to the Philippine scouts miles away that they're going to start dropping artillery on that area, and Arthur is going to use that as a distraction to make his way over to this bridge, place some demo charges, and blow it up. And that's pretty much exactly what happens. Arthur sneaks into town, manages to light Main Street on fire, waits for the fire to grow a little bit, at which point Arthur knows the artillery fire is coming right on top of him any second, and he just has to make a run for this bridge. But this bridge is wide out in the open right next to Main Street, and he is about to run essentially down Main Street towards a bridge that's being guarded, and there is hundreds of Japanese soldiers everywhere.
All right, that seems easy enough.
Check.
The only thing I could think of to do in this situation, and let's see what he does. Bees. Bees. How do you say bees in Japanese? I'm running down Main Street screaming, bees! Bees! I'm stealing that scene from the movie, what is it? Tommy Boy? Bees! When they're about to get arrested because they're speeding. Bees! Bees! And just pray that there's a Japanese that's like, hey, allergic. No. Run. Like, okay, I'm sorry. I should have just like did that and let it keep playing. Rambo style, yeah, it is straight Rambo style what he's doing. And I don't really think, it didn't really say if anyone told him to do this. I think that he took all of this upon himself.
With it. You see.
Thankfully, most of them are distracted by the fact that most of Main Street is on fire, and not a lot of them take notice of the fact that there is now a 190-pound American sprinting down Main Street towards the bridge. But eventually, a couple of them would take notice and begin firing at Arthur, and he would be struck in the calf and fall to the ground. And right then is when the artillery rounds started dropping. And as soon as the artillery rounds started dropping, Arthur waited there for a second, and then when he thought they were all distracted again, he got up and continued to run towards the bridge. He then proceeded to place the demolition charges, blowing up the bridge before disappearing back into the jungle and making his way back to his men. So Arthur and his men make it to Bataan. At this point, you have to put yourself in Arthur's shoes. He is one of the highest ranking officers on the ground. He was just in charge of 150 men 2 weeks ago, and only 37 of them survived. That's not necessarily his fault. He was placed in a completely unwinnable situation, but ultimately,
that'd be like putting an American soldier in charge of I don't know, man, in charge of a whole bunch of A&A back when I was deployed. And you, by yourself, no other Americans, you just take these fucking A&A into a mission. You take 50, 10 come back. Yeah, well, no shit. It's A&A. You pretty much sent me in there with, I don't know, man, the dudes that are eating paint chips. And I don't know what you thought they would do, but they can't, and they did not. But again, this was a lot harsher battle, so you were going to have people dying regardless. So people dying doesn't really say much about it. It says certain things about the commander, but there's certain situations where it doesn't matter. You go up, left, down, right. There was going to be a lot of death there to be had regardless. So, and there's nothing you can do about that. At least, once people go back over the pages of history, they'll know.
He's not going to feel great.
Dallas, thanks so much for the one, man. I truly appreciate it.
About himself losing that many of his men.
And thank you for making me your first super chat. That's awesome.
He's been living in the Philippines for almost a year, training with the Philippine Scouts. He's an expert in camouflage, an expert in jungle warfare, and an expert in guerrilla warfare.
And on top of that, I feel like the Philippine soldiers, I feel like they're just way better at combat, just naturally, period, overall, as a general score, than the fuckers that I had to work with. Because yes, I did have to train some of them, man. I had to take them to the range, I had to do PT with them, we even had to train police officers, like, on how to do, I don't know, man, not law enforcement shit, but just like combat related shit, because your law enforcement, chances are you're gonna run into some kind of combat related situation that has to do with guns, right? So I'm pretty sure it's night and day. I never fought with these guys, but just I have a feeling they're better.
Tactics, and he decides that rather than lose any more of his men, he is going to go out past the front line into enemy territory by himself and terrorize the enemy. So that's what he does. He sleeps during the day, and every night he grabs his Thompson submachine gun, 2 Colt 45 1911s, and a bunch of grenades, and heads off into the jungle by himself to utilize hit-and-run tactics against the Japanese conducting guerrilla warfare. And on one of these missions, he's a couple miles into enemy territory from the front line when he hears a bunch of Japanese...
This would be so much fun, man. Even if I died in the process, I would have so much fun with this type of shit right here. These type of tactics. Troll-lol, man. That's the name of the game. You know? That
soldiers coming up on him, so he quickly hides in some bushes and camouflages himself, and 30 Japanese soldiers, an entire platoon, comes walking past. One of them almost steps on him, and he's just laying there dead quiet, trying not to breathe, and the troops are making their way towards the front line. And Arthur knows he has to do something because they're either going to launch an attack or they're getting reconnaissance to scout the front line. Either way, these guys got to go.
Got a Tommy gun, right? I think it's full auto. They're right there, man. I think they're close enough and in close proximity to where I think you can mow all of them down in one magazine.
He knows that even if he pops up with the element of surprise from behind them with his Thompson submachine gun, he's still going to lose that firefight. So he does the only thing he can think to do, and that is to get up and start walking in the column with these guys as if he was one of them. So he is literally following in this Japanese column, walking through the jungle towards the front line.
Yo, I feel like I've heard this story before. It just wasn't from Fat Electrician. I feel like at some point, maybe it was like Yarn Hub or Simple History or fucking something. Yeah, this sounds familiar.
At which point he decides, hey,
maybe it was by Fat Electrician and I just didn't remember. Of course.
I gotta make sure these guys don't look back and actually try to get a look at me because I'm wearing a different uniform. They're gonna notice. So he decides that every time one of them steps on a twig or makes a noise, he's gonna shh, so they be more quiet. Just reassuring that, like, oh, that's obviously not an enemy behind me. It's somebody trying to get me to be quiet because they're on my side. Arthur Wehrmuth has just switched gears from John Rambo to Bugs Bunny fucking with Elmer Fudd. And he follows these guys through the jungle for miles, just shushing them the entire way. And then when they finally get up to the front line, Arthur knows that he has to do something. He has to alert his guys that they're about to attack. So he does the only thing he could think to do. He quietly pulls a pin from one of his grenades and then acts like he tripped on something, stumbling to the man in front of him, grabbing a hold of him for balance. And when he grabs a hold of him, he hands the grenade to him right in the guy's chest. That guy obviously grabs it, and Arthur runs off into the jungle.
Yeah.
The Japanese soldier's like, wait, what? Oh God. Boom! He blows up. Then Arthur turns around with his Thompson and opens fire on the rest of them. This obviously alerts his men, and they start opening fire too. They completely wipe out this Japanese platoon. After this and other events like it, the Japanese start to fear Arthur, referring to him as the Ghost of Bataan, while the American forces are referring to him as the one-man army. At this point, he gets his notoriety, and other experienced Filipino scouts start volunteering to go out with him, but he doesn't want to lose any more men, so he keeps refusing, and he keeps refusing. And finally, there's one brave Filipino scout that he can't refuse because this guy will kick his ass. His name is Sergeant Crispin Jacob, aka Jock. He is described as being 6'4", 220 pounds, and Arthur Wehrmuth himself said that he is half Filipino, half Oriental giant. And he begins going out on these missions with Arthur, and time after time, Jock manages to save Captain Wehrmuth's life. At some point, it becomes apparent that the Japanese are intercepting frontline communications, but here's the thing, these communications aren't done over radio, they can't just be intercepted wirelessly. These are hardwired communications with a physical wire just strung out on the ground. This means that somewhere along that wire, the Japanese have tapped into it physically, and Arthur Wehrmuth and Jock are sent out at night to investigate. So they're tracing this wire down all night long, just following this wire, and at some point in the darkness, they lose track of it. So they're trying to re-find where the wire went, they're looking. Arthur gets his legs tangled up in a vine, and he falls down. No big
I'm fucking pissed. What a shitty expedition. God damn it. That's annoying.
deal. He pulls out his knife, goes to cut the vine. Oh shit, wait, hold on. This is the wire. At which point he looks over to yell at Jock like, hey, I found it. And he looks, and there is a ditch with a Japanese soldier and a bunch of equipment sitting in it, looking at him like he's dumbfounded. Arthur quickly draws his gun as the Japanese soldier draws his, and they have a good old-fashioned quick draw contest, which Arthur wins. Arthur, then quickly making it back to his feet, is then tackled by 2 Japanese soldiers into the ditch, one of them stabbing him with a bayonet through his arm, pinning him to the dirt wall inside of this trench, at which point he yells for Jock. Jock then runs up to the edge of the trench and sees Wehrmuth inside the trench fighting off 2 Japanese soldiers with his arm pinned to the wall. He takes aim with his rifle at the Japanese soldiers and then realizes that he doesn't want to accidentally hit Wehrmuth in the middle of the fight while it's still...
Yo, I swear to God, this scene right here was in a game, a Call of Duty game. I swear, I just can't remember which one. Oh man, it's like fucking, you're either inside of a cave or you bust open this door, and you know, in Call of Duty you bust open a door inside of the fucking campaign, cue the slow motion, and I swear it's like one of your battle buddies is about to get stabbed and you just fucking bust in slow motion. I can't remember which one, but the picture he's painting reminds me of that.
Still dark out, so he jumps in the trench and proceeds to beat the 2 Japanese soldiers to death.
It may have been World at War, and if it is, then my memory is crazy good. Not really.
With his rifle. He then destroys the radio equipment, helps Wehrmuth pull the bayonet out of his arm. He starts bleeding everywhere. He bandages that up and gets Wehrmuth back to the hospital, at which point the Ghost of Bataan is now bedridden and on doctor's orders is not allowed to leave. And while all that's going on, word finally makes it back to America that there's some crazy 190-pound ex-football player running around in the jungles of the Philippines showing the Japanese what's up. And this is the one shining piece of good news that America clings on to in the days after Pearl Harbor. Arthur Wehrmuth unknowingly becomes an overnight celebrity in America. He is taking up all the headlines. They are making comic books about him and his partner Jock. He is inside of bubblegum packets telling the story of them finding the tap in the communication line.
Bro, and what's funny is that it was just him by himself for the longest time, and then he gets an assistant. Imagine if he had an entire squad or a platoon of like-minded, physically capable, and ready individuals such as Jock. They could have rained terror on the fucking Japanese. And that 116 kills goes to like 300, probably.
Arthur Wehrmuth is now one of the first main characters in World War II fighting for America, and he is vital for overall American morale. And just like a main character, he decides that he's not going to stay bedridden. He violates doctor's orders, checks himself out of the hospital, and gets back in the fight. At this point, the Japanese have flooded the entire surrounding area with snipers that are picking off American and Filipino soldiers day and night, and Arthur Wehrmuth has to be the man that does something about it. But considering that there's so many of them, and that Jock just saved his life, he comes to the conclusion that having some friends around isn't exactly a bad idea. So he starts taking volunteers to join his special anti-sniper unit, and 84 of the meanest, most experienced Philippine scouts volunteered. Not only were these guys counter-sniping the snipers, there was also a bunch of them out in the jungle, camouflaged and hidden, waiting for the sniper to fire so they knew where he was, and then they were going to come at him with machetes and Colt 45s. Throughout February...
And you have a sniper rifle. So just imagine, you're looking through the scope and you see what you think is a person, or maybe it is a person, and you shoot that person. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but for the sake of this, let's say it is. You shoot. You hit that person. You're feeling hella good for like, I don't know, 2.5 seconds, only for you to shoot that person, and then 9 to 12 bodies rise up out of the goddamn ground like some fucking zombies and start charging you like some crazy people. There's no possible way you kill all of them before they reach you. Not with that weapon. Not with that fire rate. You're talking about full-grown men, full sprint coming at you. You're nervous. You hear those footsteps, kind of like a quarterback, and that linebacker's right around the corner. Yeah, dude, you're afraid. That's rough. I like that. I like that style of combat. Just fucking wait for that sniper to give himself away, and then bum rush the shit out of him in numbers. He can't kill all of us. So one of us is gonna get him. A case of beer, the bastard that does.
February and March of 1942, Arthur Wehrmuth, Jock, and their anti-sniper unit were credited with taking out 500 Japanese soldiers, and this is considered to be a very conservative estimate. Then, in late March, Command would ask for volunteers to do a nearly impossible mission of recapturing the high point of Mount Phuket, at which point Arthur immediately volunteered and then asked his men who of them would also like to volunteer, and they all did. Arthur and his men then set off to try to complete this nearly impossible mission. It is a 36-hour hike through enemy territory just to get to the objective. Along that 36-hour hike, they are credited with taking out an additional 65 Japanese soldiers. Then upon reaching Mount Phuket, they would launch an attack, and it would fail. Arthur would lose over half of his men. Having failed to take the high ground at Mount Phuket, Arthur and his surviving men would retreat back to Bataan. Along the way, they would get ambushed by a machine gun position, and Arthur would be struck in the chest with machine gun fire. Arthur would then wake up in a field hospital back at Bataan, where he was informed that the bullet went through his rib into his lung, and he was now battling an infection. I would assume they didn't have antibiotics to give him, because at this point, Bataan was in rough shape. They were down to half rations, and they were running out of every supply imaginable, desperately trying to hold out long enough to get resupplied and reinforced. Arthur would remain in the hospital for 10 days, and every single day that passed, it became more and more apparent that they were losing and Japan was going to win. At this point, Arthur, against doctor's orders, with pus oozing from his chest, still battling an infection, would don his gear and go back out with his men one last time. Arthur and his anti-sniper unit desperately tried to hold the line against the Japanese, but due to sheer overwhelming numbers, they were beaten back over and over again, and during one of their retreats on April 9th, Arthur would slip down the side of a cliff, smacking his head on a rock, rendered unconscious. He would again wake up in the hospital, but this time when he awoke, he would come to find out that the Japanese had completely taken over Bataan, the Americans had been forced to surrender, and General MacArthur had fled to Australia. This is absolutely the worst possible outcome, because the Imperial Japanese believe that if you surrender in battle, you lose your honor, and if you lose your honor, you are no longer human. You are subhuman and no longer eligible for human rights, which gives them the justification to treat you however they want. Arthur Wehrmuth is bedridden, having been shot in the leg, stabbed in the arm with a bayonet, shot in the chest, concussed, and battling an infection, and he is probably one of the luckiest men there. Because pretty much everybody else is forced to participate in the Bataan Death March, and I don't really want to get too far into what that is and what happened, but suffice it
I can put two and two together. I got it.
to say, over 30% of everybody else is going to die in captivity as a prisoner of war. And if Arthur Wehrmuth were also forced to go down the Bataan Death March, he would absolutely be a member of that 30% given his current condition. I can't verify this for sure, but I think the reason that they let Arthur Wehrmuth have a chance at surviving is because technically he never surrendered. He was fatally wounded in battle, and when he woke up, he had already been captured. So I think that maybe the Japanese didn't look down on him as subhuman because he...
Either that, or they knew exactly who he was, and they were showing him respect. Like, hey, this the guy right here that, like, was fucking on us hard, dude, for, like, a good minute. Yeah, this guy's legit. Give him some time off, I guess. We'll be easy on him, I suppose, yeah. So, it's either they respected him, or they actually had a moment of empathy, I suppose. Like, he's so fucked up. Let him just... He might die right here. Just fuck it.
He didn't forfeit his honor. He literally fought until he lost consciousness, and by sheer luck, he survived and woke up in captivity. After making his recovery, now Major Wehrmuth would find himself being the highest-ranking military officer around, making him the leader of the few remaining Americans that were lucky enough to escape the Bataan Death March, and for the next year, they are used as forced labor to build Japanese airstrips. One of the Americans under the command of Arthur was a man by the name of Elliot Smesler, who later on in life would write a book of memoirs about his time as a prisoner of war under the Japanese. In that book, he wrote this, quote, "The first year of my captivity, I worked on building an airfield for the Japanese. Life wasn't bad because they were afraid of the major in charge. His name was Major Wehrmuth, and the Japanese called him Wehrmuth the Lion." Now, I think this is actually further evidence that the Japanese don't believe that he actually surrendered and didn't lose his honor in battle, because they are still scared of him despite the fact that he is their prisoner. And he definitely didn't surrender, because while Arthur and the men under his command did build the airstrip they were told to build,
I think they were like, man, I think if he really wanted to, he could kill all of us, because, again, he's just that guy. I'm pretty sure they knew who he was, man. And they were like, yeah, we got him prisoner, but we keep our distance.
they sabotaged it so that the concrete would buckle underneath the...
That's what I was thinking, and that's what I was going to say, but I didn't want to feel like I was talking out of my ass. Like, Yeah, and some would say, "Oh man, you get caught, that'll get you killed." Like, bro, I'm captive. The chances of me surviving this are slim fucking shit, right? So, yeah, yeah, I would definitely not do that. In the case of forcing your captives into labor so that they can build something for you to use as a means of military use, you're crazy. Because I'd sabotage you. I'd forget a nail, I'd forget a screw, I'd forget a bolt, I'd forget something. I would sabotage the shit out of it. I'd never do that. So like, at least if I was holding captives, I don't believe in holding captives. That shit slows you down. And it's war. Kill everybody and keep it moving, keep it pushing. But if I did have to take captives, I definitely would not put them in charge of building shit for me. I'm just saying.
Weight of Japanese heavy bombers, not only damaging the airstrip, but the bombers as well. Yeah,
And they did the same thing. That's good. I'm glad they did, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, it would really be beneficial for you to kill me if you get your hands on me, bro. Just go ahead and do it, because I'm gonna be such a pain in the ass as a captive.
Despite being a POW for over a year, Arthur and the men under his command are still finding a way to slow down the Japanese military. Yeah. Because of this, Arthur and the men under his command are sent to live on a hell ship known as the Oryoku Maru, which, if you don't know, a hell ship is essentially a POW camp on a boat, and they are infamous for their horrific living conditions.
Every single day, I'm going to try to sabotage this boat, bro. You're gonna have to kill me, or shove me in a room and lock me away and never check on me until I die of starvation. Because every day I'm gonna find a way to fuck with you.
The only thing worse than being a starving POW is being a starving POW on a boat with no shade while you're seasick. Then on January 9th, 1945, the USS Hornet, an American aircraft carrier, would mistake the hell ship for a troop transport and bomb it. Oh. This bombing would kill over 250 Americans instantly, wounding and injuring almost every other American on board, including Arthur Wehrmath. Despite having his wounds go untreated while starving to death, Arthur still somehow managed to survive, making it to Japan to be inside of a POW camp there, where he would later be freed after Japan surrendered. When Arthur Wehrmath shipped off from America to the Philippines in 1941, he weighed 190 pounds. When he finally got to return home to America after
like
World
120?
War II, he weighed only 105.
Oh,
he would then be awarded 4 Purple Hearts, the Silver Star, and the Distinguished Service Cross. He is credited with 116 kills and will go down in history as the one-man army of Bataan. Despite this, he credited his men, saying that 90% of what he was able to accomplish was due to the Philippine scouts and that they were the best soldiers in the world. So
yeah, but you have to remember that at one point you were going at it by yourself like you were fucking Batman. And so that can't go unnoticed. I know you're being humble and everything, but still.
So in conclusion, the fall of Wake Island and the Philippines are considered to be some of the first losses dealt to America during World War II. But in many ways, they are also some of the first victories, as stories of heroes like that of Hank Elrod and the Marines of Wake Island, and Arthur Wehrmath and his Philippine scouts reached the rest of the world. It would become clear to America that this war was winnable, and it would become clear to Japan that they had a lot bigger fight on their hands than they ever anticipated. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go check out thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
That was good. However, oh dude, I don't think we have done this, but I've heard about this story. Something about that one snippet that he gave us where Arthur blended in with the Japanese because it was dark and he was literally walking with them, blending in with them, and they didn't know. I swear I've heard that tidbit of information somewhere. Maybe it wasn't here with the Fat Electrician, it was somewhere though. And maybe it wasn't even about Arthur. Maybe that's also been accomplished by somebody else over the course of time. You know, I always made jokes whenever I was deployed all the time, that especially with my chain of command, I was like, yo, sir, all I'm saying is if you ever want to send me in and I can blend in with the locals, dude, just let me grow out my beard. I look just like them. Let me do it. If we ever need an infiltrator. I'd be like, shut the fuck up, Falcon. I'm not sending you anywhere. I was like, well, think about it. I'm here. Just okay. Let's see. I'm actually gonna check my watch later. Because that was, oh no, it's David, are you still here? I gotta watch this dinosaur video. David, let me know if you're here. I'm Brown Yacht Dog. Thanks for hanging, dude. I appreciate it. Oh, okay. All right. Uh, I know they weren't actually that big. I do know that. I feel like because I love dino, and this is why I didn't want to watch this. Do you know how many videos I've watched on dinosaurs before, David? Movies, documentaries. I love dinosaurs when I was a kid. And like, yeah, the raptors, they're not actually as big as they are in the movies. They're not actually as big as what they were believed to be. They were more like, I don't know, I mean, like the size of fucking turkeys. Something like that. So that's kind of the reason I didn't want to watch this, man, because like, well, maybe we'll see. It's just like I've watched so many of these videos before, like on my own time, that
Zook's tasty, tender dog treats can turn every outing into an adventure. From park.
That right there is the toe bone from a baby dinosaur, and I'm holding it because I'm finally learning the truth about dinosaurs. I've loved dinosaurs since I was a kid, but it turns out that a lot of what I thought I knew is actually wrong. Or at least outdated. So, in this video, I'm gonna show you the cutting edge of dinosaur discovery. I'm gonna give you rare access into a warehouse full of dinosaur bones, go out into the field and try to discover my own fossil, and show you something new these scientists just discovered.
I think we got ourselves a dinosaur. A new look at dinosaurs. The golden age
of dinosaur discovery.
Uncovering almost one new dinosaur species a week.
There's so much more to these amazing creatures that we really have just begun.
I think I found a dinosaur bone.
We're in Alberta, Canada, and we are on our way to an active dinosaur dig site. This is a huge moment in dinosaur discovery. Scientists are discovering more dinosaurs now than at any other time in history. They're finding a new species each week on average, and those discoveries are shaking up what we thought we knew about these ancient animals. The dig site that we're headed to now is special.
The rumor is that they've uncovered something really cool. So I don't know what we're gonna find, but my big goal is to actually help discover a dinosaur bone today. If I can do that, oh my God.
The site that we're going to is full of a herd of dinosaurs called Pachyrhinosaurus.
We have the big adults, we have the little babies, we have the teenagers.
That's Dr. Emily Bamforth, the paleontologist in charge of this site. They're not sure what exactly killed this herd. It could have been a natural disaster like a flood, but they know that it killed them all at the same time. And then later they were buried in mud that turned to stone over 73 million years. But that's a problem for us today, because they're not preserved as individual animals where they fell. They're all sort of mixed together.
That's right. So we lovingly refer to it as our Pachyrhinosaurus omelet. It's basically hundreds, potentially thousands of animals kind of jumbled up together in this one deposit.
Putting together a dinosaur is kind of like doing a puzzle, except
you don't know what the picture on the front of the box is. You're missing half the pieces. There's pieces from other puzzles thrown in, and then the pieces sometimes are ripped and torn so they don't fit properly.
The hardest jigsaw puzzle in the world.
Basically, yep.
So how do you know that you're doing the puzzle right? How do we know that any of these dinosaurs are right? Well, we're about to see how they do it.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. Here we are. This is it.
This bone bed is particularly exciting because it's one of the
densest dinosaur bone beds in North America. So the estimated number of animals is somewhere from 6,000 to 10,000.
Oh my God.
Among all the bones in this huge dinosaur omelet, there's one type that's rare and special to find intact, a skull, and they just found one.
So this thing here is a big skull, and everything that's around it is all bone as well.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, go ahead. It feels like a rock. It basically is a rock.
Whoa. Are you freaking out right now?
Yeah, I'm totally freaking out right now. This is so awesome.
They're hoping to pull this skull out of the ground in the next few weeks. But if that's a Pachyrhinosaurus skull, how big was the rest of it? It turns out a lot has changed about what we think dinosaurs actually looked like, including their size. So let me show you.
Okay, so I want you to imagine this skull coming out of the ground. It would look like this.
The big dinosaur.
This dinosaur had a big bony bump on the front of its nose called a boss, and a bony frill and horns on the back of its head. Using bones collected in the area and around the world, and referencing similar dinosaurs and animals that are alive today, scientists put together the rest of the skeleton like this.
Now imagine the dinosaur comes back to life. It's about that big.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
Compared to other dinosaurs, this guy was medium in size, which is wild, and makes me wonder, how big were the rest of them? If you lined up a bunch of dinosaurs from smallest to largest, you'd see the teeny little Anchiornis, just a little bit bigger than a basketball. You'd see the Compsognathus, the size of a small chicken. The famous Velociraptor would actually be here, except in real life, they were about this big, which is, not the size they looked in Jurassic Park. And newer research shows that they didn't look like that. Velociraptors had feathers. To be fair to Jurassic Park, though, they didn't know that.
The reason the Velociraptors don't have feathers is because we didn't know that those kind of dinosaurs had feathers at the time.
In 1998, this discovery in China changed our understanding of what some dinosaurs looked like, and other discoveries since have confirmed that more dinosaurs had feathers than we thought. And there's still a lot of debate about what the color and the outside appearance of dinosaurs actually looked like. We'll get to that in a minute. One step bigger than the Velociraptor would be the Nyasasaurus, about the size of a German Shepherd. Then our Pachyrhinosaurus would be here. One of my favorites, the Triceratops, was about the height of an Asian elephant, but much longer. Here's the Stegosaurus and the T-Rex. And from here on, the sizes get nutty. These dinosaurs were bigger than school buses. They were taller than buildings. One of the largest known dinosaurs, the Argentinosaurus, was about as long and heavier than a commercial airplane. Can you imagine what it was like when these animals walked the earth? But here's the thing. They didn't all walk it at the same time.
Really common misconception is that all dinosaurs lived all at
Because we had different periods of dinosaurs, you know? Jurassic, Triassic, Mesopotamic, all that shit.
the same time.
Dinosaurs lived for
Mesozoic, I mean.
Way longer than most people think. If this is all of recorded human history, and this is the time since humans diverged from apes, this is the time when dinosaurs were alive. Dinosaurs ruled the earth for 180 million years. We are nothing in comparison. And the dinosaurs that we know today were spread out through this enormous history, which means that some of the dinosaurs I think of as being alive at the same time were actually separated by millions of years.
There is more time that separates Stegosaurus from T-Rex than separates T-Rex from us.
What?
Yeah.
That's an amazing fact. I had no idea.
The Stegosaurus was an ancient relic to the T-Rex. My whole childhood was a lie.
They're about to let me look for some dinosaur bones. I've been waiting for this moment my whole entire life, so no pressure, but if I don't find something, I'm gonna be devastated. I'm I'm probably not gonna find anything. I'm probably gonna find like a chicken bone, but just searching. I'm so psyched.
But first, let me show you something. I'm trying to correct what I got wrong about dinosaurs, but understanding the news, especially science news, can be a challenge. That's why for this story, I wanted to partner with Ground News. Their website and app gathers
horizontal to the bone layer. The reason being, like, as soon as you do this, you run the risk of like accidentally stabbing a bone.
Yeah.
The second rule is to always keep your site clean. So we say a clean site is a happy site.
All right, the moment I've been waiting for my whole life. Here I go.
I'm just gonna be here for a while. Just you guys can go.
But as I worked, I wondered, how many of each dinosaur have we found?
Some huge proportion of species are known from a single specimen, which is crazy.
Yeah. Turns out almost half of all dinosaur species are known from a single specimen. And many of those fossils are incomplete, meaning we take the pieces that we do find and we extrapolate what the rest of it could have looked like. That makes the job of identifying what's a new species and what's just a piece of an already existing dinosaur really tricky.
We are nowhere near having all the dinosaurs that ever lived.
And the dinosaurs that we have found aren't final. They're an ongoing group project among scientists all around the world. Take, for example, maybe the world's most famous dinosaur, the T-Rex. Didn't look like you think. Scientists and artists have been imagining dinosaurs for hundreds of years. Based on early discoveries, they thought that the T-Rex was a lean predator that stood upright like a kangaroo.
You may have seen the traditional T-Rex in the kangaroo pose, like standing up with his tail dragging on the ground.
But the more they compared the T-Rex's hip and thigh bones to modern upright animals, they realized that they didn't quite make sense. New computer models showed that standing upright would put too much weight on its hips, but leaning forward would be much more stable.
We now understand these animals are more like teeter-totters.
And they weren't very lean either. Rib-like bones were found with this old famous T-Rex skeleton, Sue. But it wasn't until 2018 when they realized that these ribs would have had to float in the T-Rex's abdomen, like crocodiles have today. And they realized that the T-Rex would have been way chunkier than they thought, which means that it was probably an ambush predator jumping out at you, not a pursuit predator chasing you down in a Jeep. In fact, most dinosaurs were chunkier than people thought. But before I show you that,
Do you think that's a bone? I'm pretty sure both of these are bone. I'm pretty sure I found a dinosaur bone. I think I'm touching a dinosaur bone right now. Oh my God. Might also be a bone of like a large chicken or something. Am I right? Okay, I think there's two bones. I think this is a bone, and I think this is a bone under here too.
Yep.
Oh my God, they're everywhere.
I also didn't realize that I narrowly avoided disaster.
This is bone too, actually.
Stop, really?
Yep.
All right, I didn't spot that one. How do you know?
I can see like those little white specks in there. That's kind of like the Arrow chocolate bar.
Look at the texture of this. I had no idea what I was looking at. I thought I was looking for something like that, which is the outside of the bone. Right?
Yeah.
That is the cross section. That's the Arrow bar part, the inside texture. Good thing I didn't chip away at that one. Thank you. This is one of the coolest experiences of my life. I realize that this is just like another Tuesday for you, but this is really cool.
It is pretty cool. Like I said, the thrill never wears off.
But finding a bone isn't even the coolest part. We gotta get it back to the lab.
Is there any hope of actually pulling that bone out of the ground?
I think so.
To get it out of the ground intact, we had to make this paste and then paint it over the bone and wait until it dried. And while we were waiting, I realized that I still had a very basic question about all of this. And after I learned the answer, I'm never gonna look at a chicken the same way.
What qualifies as a dinosaur?
Good question. It is a phylogenetic question.
All right, so your great grandfather, over 10 to 15 million generations back, was a little lizard-like creature called an amniote. Scientists think that this was your most recent common ancestor with dinosaurs. Over millions of years, the amniote's kids adapted, and scientists grouped up the new species depending on their different characteristics. Scientifically speaking, a dinosaur is everything from here onward, which means some of the animals that people often call dinosaurs actually aren't.
So things like pterosaurs that actually belong to a different group of reptiles. Things like mosasaurs, plesiosaurs, ichthyosaurs are also not dinosaurs. Like, they live at the same time, but they belong to different groups of reptiles.
Crocodiles were alive back then too, which is crazy. But they're not dinosaurs because they actually branched off earlier. But if everything that descended from this branch onward is a dinosaur, then that means
birds were dinosaurs, and therefore they are also dinosaurs.
Birds are not the descendants of dinosaurs.
I feel like birds have always existed. Right? Would only make sense. Like the one animal that I can see them existing in dinosaur times. Prior to that, during that, after that. Yeah, sure, the size changes, but the fact that there is an animal that possesses flight doesn't.
They are actually dinosaurs by the most scientific definition. Dinosaurs are still alive, and they're all around you.
Yeah.
But hang on.
I was gonna say the chicken. I feel like if the chicken was anything, the chicken either came from the raptor or the T-Rex. I want to say the T-Rex because the raptor was already small. Anything smaller than that wouldn't even qualify as a chicken. But like a butterfly. But yeah, I don't know.
I thought that a meteor hit the Earth and caused the dinosaurs to go extinct. But if birds are still alive and birds are dinosaurs...
No, the lizard people theory doesn't come from dinosaurs. That comes from like fucking Anunnaki. Or so I don't know how they explain it. Like Anunnaki and reptilians and all that shit, and that's like its own separate. That has nothing to do with dinosaurs.
What actually happened after the meteor hit?
They got
To answer that
fucked up.
question, we gotta go to the lab.
What happened? Bro, nuclear winter. Essentially. What, I think the asteroid that annihilated the dinosaurs was like, I think it was like 100 kilometers across. And big, bro, like big. And that's like setting off multiple nuclear weapons. In fact, an asteroid of that size would dwarf every nuclear weapon being set off at the same time that we've ever created. So yeah, nuclear winter. Sky went dark as fuck. Their food sources died. And that was it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that asteroid hit water. Which means that whatever didn't get incinerated or burned, it got flooded.
Oh my god, this is like Santa's workshop. This is the coolest place I've ever been.
Let me show you some of the coolest things here.
This is a tyrannosaur tooth. Look at the serrated edges right there, you see it? For cutting flesh.
Look at that. That is a...
This is a break.
That healed.
That healed, yep.
Whoa.
So this is actually really important. It's basically like kind of fossilized physiology or fossilized behavior, which is not something that's easy to find in the fossil record.
Incredible.
So yeah, man, I wonder, so would y'all, dude, I would consider the woolly mammoth to be a dinosaur. I would consider a saber-toothed tiger to be a dinosaur. Really those two in that regard. Right? Because they derive from something, just like our elephants derive from something, right?
It also just reinforces these were living animals. They had whole lives where they did all kinds of things and healed and, you know, had injuries and...
Yep, and got sick too. So this has a really abnormal bone growth right at the end of it. So we think that's either osteoarthritis or potentially a bone cancer.
Oh.
So if you were to...
Dinosaurs got cancer?
Yep.
We saw so many amazing things. And
She said dinosaurs get cancer?
Cancer.
Oh.
So if you were to...
Dinosaurs got cancer?
Yep.
Oh, I actually didn't know that. And that's wild. What are the odds? Did cancer also affect dinosaurs? Jesus Christ. Nothing on this planet can ever get a fucking break, bro. Nothing. Not even us. Technically, we did get a break. A fucking asteroid wiped these fuckers off the face of the planet, because had these things never got wiped off the face of the planet, we would never exist. Because we and this species of animal cannot coexist. That's impossible.
We saw so many amazing things. And finally, I got to touch dinosaur skin.
That is not skin impression, that's the actual skin. So you can touch it if you want, it's like you're petting a dinosaur.
It feels like what I imagine an enormous chicken foot would feel like.
And on this one, this is another layer of skin. If you look closely, you can see there are different kinds of scales.
Yeah, touching dinosaur skin was incredible. I closed my eyes and I imagined meeting a dinosaur. And then, looking at the skin, my question was,
do we know anything about color?
Good question. So in general, we know what colors some dinosaurs were. The feathered dinosaurs in particular, because the feathers will sometimes preserve pigment.
Based on pigments in fossilized feathers, they know that some feathered dinosaurs were black and white with shiny feathers, and some had rust or deep red colors. Skin doesn't preserve color, but they have found shading, meaning that some dinosaurs likely had stripes.
We don't know if those stripes were black and white, if they were tan and black. We're not really sure of the color. The dinosaurs that you see reconstructed, it's based on our understanding of modern animals, how modern animals are colored.
But a little creative liberty in color isn't the main problem with dinosaur depictions today. Look at this. You might not recognize it, but this is a modern animal, alive today. If you took its skeleton and treated it in the same way that many early science illustrators treated dinosaurs. The problem here is they just wrapped the skin around the skeleton without taking into account any of the muscle and the fat, turning this animal into a monster. Can you guess what it is? That's a zebra. How about this one? That's a baboon. This one's my favorite.
A hippo?
That's a hippo, if we treated it like science illustrators treated dinosaurs. This is called shrink wrapping. And today,
we now know that's probably not an accurate reflection of dinosaurs. They would have had a lot of muscle mass. Yeah, like just to move those things around.
Yeah.
Today, artists and scientists are working to correct that, adding more loose skin and muscles and fatty tissues, redefining what dinosaurs realistically looked like. Every bone that comes to the lab from the field needs to get cleaned. So, time to clean ours.
So this is still covered in mud, but when it's cleaned, it'll look more like this surface right here. Sort of, you can see the shine.
This is a rib that is pretty close to being fully prepared. So you can see there's that shiny chocolate brown color.
These bones are brown because they're not like your bones right now. In fact, what we've been calling bones are really rocks. All dinosaur bones are fossilized, which means they're now made of rock.
You can think of fossil bones as basically an exact copy of the bone just made out of rock. The original bone material is there, but over millions of years, the minerals replaced the bone kind of like cell by cell, basically. And so it's an exact copy of what the bone looked like. It's just now made out of rock.
Every dinosaur in every museum is a stone replica of what was once a living, breathing animal. Which brings me to my last question. How did the big dinosaurs actually die? It started 66.04 million years ago, on a normal day in the dinosaur kingdom, except that a speck appeared in the sky. And over a few weeks, it got bigger and bigger and bigger until a huge...
Dude, honestly, I feel like this video was an intro to dinosaurs, not so much an explanation. Like, you know what I mean?
rock, wider than Mount Everest is tall, traveling at 20 to 30 kilometers per second, hit the Earth right here. So hard it vaporized the entire space rock immediately, but catapulted chunks of Earth beyond the atmosphere, perhaps far enough to hit the moon. And on the surface, it created an apocalypse.
There would have been, this is what kind of terrifies me about this extinction, something called a thermal pulse, which is basically a wave of heat.
There would have been mega tsunamis that rippled across the planet. The immediate impact would have been awful to live through. But for the dinosaurs that did, the worst was still coming, because the whole planet was going dark.
The ejecta from the impact itself would have blocked out the sun.
With less light, the plants died, and the animals that ate the plants, and the animals that ate them, and up and up and up.
And the things that survive are the things that are small, they're the size of a German Shepherd and smaller. Things that had some kind of refugia, so they could go into water or they could live underground.
It must have been so scary. The fact that anything survived is pretty incredible. After 180 million years, the reign of the dinosaurs was over. What would the world have looked like if that rock had missed? We'll never know.
But ultimately, like a bad day on planet Earth for the dinosaurs, but a really great day for mammals. I mean, we are here today because of that extinction.
Fantastic. Pretty good, Tracy. Hanging out, just chilling. Kind of gives me Kids Discovery vibe. Yeah, this. Damn, David. I thought we were gonna get into like some fucking in-depth dinosaur shit. Like, you did not know. This is gonna blow your mind. I knew everything. There was like not a single thing in this video, David, that I didn't already know. This did not change my perception or my view of dinosaurs, not even in the slightest. I thought this was gonna be some kind of like game changer or something. No, this was not. This is something I would make my niece watch if I wanted to get her interested in dinosaurs. Like something you would find on PBS early in the morning before the children go to school. That's why I asked you if you were sure, man. Like, are you sure? And you said yeah. So, all right. James, my day is good, man. My bad. I think I called you Tracy earlier. Except the cancer part, yeah. 20 minutes for one singular fact that you probably could have told me, David. Come on, bruh. But hey, informative nonetheless. I can't be mad at something informational. However, good. Very good. Most good, David. Next time, I'll watch something else and have someone else proof the video just to make sure it's worth. I really was waiting for something. I kind of want to do that one, man. Just like... Let me check my watch later, see if there's anything else. Falcon Storming. What would y'all rather check out? Try Not to Laugh, Fail Army, 15 minutes of red flags. The opposite video that we watched from a couple of months ago that was about male loneliness, but now this one's female loneliness. I guess. 129 ways to get a husband. I really just want to see that list. There's 129 ways, huh? Bullshitting, bro. It's 3. And y'all know what those 3 are. Y'all just don't like those 3. Y'all would just be making up a whole bunch of different shit. And I'm here to tell you. Doing too much. No, that's definitely something I'll watch on my own too. There was that video by Angry Cops that I wanted to watch, but I already covered the topic, so it's just like, try not to laugh. You don't like these, Jeff. Why would you vote try not to laugh? You don't even like these. You're just like, well, I'm gonna pass this shit. All right, bet. Oh, I forgot that I put that on the watch later. There's another one. Oh no, that's... Damn, there's a whole bunch we were gonna watch. The Cougar Epidemic. Oh Lord. I think some people misinterpret the definition of the word cougar. If she's 50 and you're 30, I don't really consider that her doing... I don't really consider that cougar behavior. If she's 50 and you're 18, that's a cougar, I feel. I feel like there's levels to it. I don't know. Oh, we did watch that. We'll watch the ones that matter. We'll do a try not to laugh. When it comes to I'd rather just do the 15 minutes of red flags. Hopefully that's like, I don't know, it's like quick rapid fire videos. What does that say? He forgot our anniversary and now he's mad at me? Yeah, that's a red flag. Like, then again, I am about fairness, so like I feel like both of you motherfuckers should remember the anniversary. It shouldn't just be up to one person. Just saying. But oh no. Oh no. We'll find out after this quick ad from Audible.
To get skin that feels hydrated.
And Dove for Men. My husband's mom ruined our gender reveal. Oh. I mean, even if it's a red flag, what can you do? She's already pregnant. You can't go anywhere. So, what's the red flag here? That your mom, let's see. We got to start and then we'll decide. We'll decide. The girl.
Hi, yeah, I have a question.
If you don't, oh hell no. Yeah, you ruined that. What is your problem? Oh my god. Jesus. I'm not sure if that was his mom or if that was Brian Urlacher. What, like?
Hi.
Yeah, that's no. If you don't get the fuck, and you know what's gonna happen, maybe he is upset, but it's his mom, right? So he's not gonna say anything. And then, like, I don't know, like 7 hours from now, when everyone goes home, she's gonna bring it up. Hey, why didn't you say anything when your mom? And it's gonna cause a thing. It is. I already know I already know how the rest of that day is gonna play out. She's gonna be mad, and for good reason. And he's in a tough spot. But you gotta say something though. Like, hey, that was our moment. I could have hugged you after. Selfish ass. I don't even want to watch it again. He says, "Hi, yeah, I have a question."
Hi, yeah, I have a question. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, look how she's looking at him. Oh no. Look how she's looking at him. Oh no. That's like, I get that you're happy, but this was like supposed to be our moment, is how she's looking at him. And she's looking at him like this isn't the first time. Like, maybe he is and does behave like a grown man, but his mother cannot stop treating him like he's 5, is the vibe I'm getting here. And he doesn't want to say anything. And she's like, seriously? You're a grown man, Billy. Like, the fuck?
What gives you that impression? Delusion?
I just want to address it because I don't think this was right. I'm excited that you have your bed.
I am angrier than a fruit fly trapped in a pile of peas. Unhand me!
Yeah.
It's fine, it's fine.
Do you see the filling that's coming out of your pie hole right now?
It's a gender... Man, this lady's selfish.
Sister!
Come on, everyone's happy. Come on, let's go.
See? Oh, look at him. See, you don't win in this situation, bro. Best bet for you is to shut the fuck up and let them finish their little spat. Don't take sides. You know what? Don't even make eye contact. If I were you, I would just go into the backyard and pretend like you lost your shoes or something. I don't know. Make an excuse. Get the fuck out of here until it's over. At least that would be, hey, man, no shame. You just hang your head down, pretend like, get the fuck out of Dodge, man. Because they're both about to yell at you.
Your spine is softer than Gerber baby green beans, fella.
I don't think this is right because you just literally threw yourself at Dane, ended up on the sofa. He couldn't even like hug me. Right, listen, are you a little bit hormonal?
She's about to be a little homicidal if you don't put those words back in your mouth.
Yeah. So you got to put your foot down with somebody, bro. And I think it's with your mother. You got to put your foot down. In a way, he loses either way. You're right. This is an L. You're either gonna piss off your wife, or in this case, your wife, or you're gonna piss off your mom. However, I will say this to a lot of dudes. Which one is gonna touch your penis? Let's not piss that one off. Your mother will live. Not to mention, you were once a teenager. Believe me, you've probably pissed her off worse. She'll get over it. She'll be fine. It's no longer her time. It's the time of your lady. Not your, you know what I'm saying? That's how I would look at it. Who do I have to sleep next to? Who do I have to wake up next to? Who do I have to deal with on a daily basis? Oh, it's not your mom? Yeah, you better choose otherwise. Ain't no way. You think I'm about to get bitched at on your behalf, mother? No, You better go take it up with dad or something. Go find someone else to fuck with. It ain't gonna be me.
I'm already so pruny.
This is
Babe, how long's that got left?
Just a couple minutes.
It does. Can I see it for a minute?
Oh, All right, what did he do?
I just want to look at it for just 1 second.
You're not.
Oh, you little hussy.
You did not.
I just want to save us both the trouble.
You're not saving trouble, you're making it. You're wreaking more havoc than a screen door in a submarine.
You know it was going to be nasty and burnt. It is every time. Anything you do, you're the only person I know that can burn cereal.
It's fitting you mentioned burning, because...
Is this supposed to be a red flag? Is it? Tell me, ladies. Would you rather your man tell you that he doesn't like your cooking, or would you rather him lie to you for the next 25 years? Right? Y'all remember the Spider-Man movie where Spider-Man gets his power? It's the Amazing Spider-Man. Peter gets his powers for the first time, comes home and eats up everything in the fucking kitchen, and Aunt May is like, he took the meatloaf. He's like, I know. Nobody likes your meatloaf. And she's like, are you kidding me? Been married for 20 years. You never told me you don't like my meatloaf? So, I mean, who's really wrong here? Who's the red flag for? I don't see a problem. Let's see where this goes.
There's a lot of fire where you're going.
Okay, so why don't you make your own food? I'll order out for me, and you can take care of yourself.
No, now make me a real meal now.
No.
Boy, you're about as sharp as a...
Yeah, you're not doing yourself any favors. I mean, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. Now you're just making it worse.
A gumball, brother.
You can eat
Something
out the
good.
garbage can. You can eat out
Don't.
the
I
garbage
smelled it. It was burning already. I could tell.
I don't care. I don't care.
Also, I will say that there is a degree of tact that you could have used. You literally like walked up to her while she was cooking, grabbed that shit, and acted like if you were gonna throw it in the trash. When in reality, you could have just been like, "Yo, sweetie, fuck that. Let's just order." I know you worked on it, but it's okay. That's fine. I don't know. And if she's cooking, that means she's cooked before, which means that you've eaten her cooking before, which you could have told her before and been like, listen, sweetie, I'm sorry to tell you, but you don't got it. And I've had to tell girls that before. My ex, not everything she made was great. Could she cook? Yes, but sometimes she would try something new. Sometimes she would try something she has never tried before. Sometimes she would try and cook something she had never attempted to cook before. And I'd tell her, like, I can definitely tell that was your first time. That was not the best. She didn't get mad. She'd be like, okay, cool, thanks. I'll try something else. I'm like, that's too salty. That's hella salt. You tone that down. Okay, thank you, cool. Less salt. Right? I don't know. I feel like being honest is better than lying.
You flea-bitten foe of decency! Toss the
But there is a way to do it. Don't be a dick about it. Because, you know, when it comes to women, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
thou scorn a wife's good liver! Why am I insulting him in Old English?
It just
am I having a meltdown?
Make some food. Come on.
Why don't you get your ass in the kitchen and you do something for once?
Thy wit is frailer than a newborn marred with ricket.
Or you can't really tell me that because I very well will. I will. Granted, it won't be anything to the levels of sophistication that you can make, but I can still make ramen. I can still make hamburger helper. Again, I wouldn't be this guy. I'd just be like, sweetie, that's not it, man. Or maybe your girl just sucks ass at cooking, period, and she just don't got it, right? Hell, sweetie, it's okay. You try. I love you for it, but it's fine, right?
He's doing great, guys. It's Labor Day. He's doing great. I'm really struggling right now.
Please don't do this.
What's happening?
Breathe.
You can't. I'm so serious. You can't.
This is the corpse
What's happening?
flower. It's called that because it smells like rotting flesh. Available now in the Walmart Garden Center. I'm kidding. They grow to be about 3 feet wide and weigh up to 15 pounds. And for centuries, it was known as the biggest flower known to man. But today, that record was broken. The title for world's biggest flower now belongs to a gigantic pansy.
And that pansy is you, brother! If you don't get your rear end in that car and take her to the hospital, run to Charles through the window, by the window.
Hey, I can't. I'm too upset. I'm calling in 3 Ace Grace for professional singing backup. Hit it, fellas.
Toe through the pansies with me.
Remix!
Hello, Flag Guy here. Sorry for briefly interrupting this video, but I have some new merch out right now, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could take a look. I am also sending a bunch of free
I don't know what I was
personalized thank you
watching.
videos to several people who order. Sorry, I was changing.
Can you just do like overtime or something on the weekends?
You want me to work overtime on the weekends?
What?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to have to go back to work.
Okay.
What line of work were you in? Pyrotechnics? Because right now...
You're playing with fire, brother!
After what happened, they said I couldn't come back, so it's not like I can just go back and start doing hours again.
No, but you could get on ZipRecruiter and start hunting, you human tick.
I'm not going to be able to pay the rent this month.
Well, I'm not going to be able to sleep until I know why y'all put that couch underneath the bar.
Well, I love you, but I don't even know who we pay our rent to.
Oh, you bearded toddler! You pampers!
Yeah, that couch really is annoying me right there underneath the counter like that. That's I can't.
Rewards member!
But like, what do we do if like we can't pay the rent?
I don't know.
Use thinking! Find a solution!
I can pack the stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Man, I'd rather pack than work! Laughter has no place in this matter!
I don't think I'm gonna wear a black tux.
I think you are gonna wear a black tie.
POV, you're planning a wedding and this is your nightly routine part 4. Hold on.
Black tux.
I'd rather pack than work! Laughter has no place in this matter!
I don't think I'm gonna wear a black tux.
I think you are gonna wear a black tux.
No, I don't want to be like everyone else.
What color did you have in mind?
Maybe green.
No. You can pick something else that you want.
Look, I don't know what's got your blouse in a bunch, but you need to smooth it out, sister.
Why?
Because it's not gonna be that.
You're making this matrimony not very holy! You're like a peppermint in a glass of orange juice!
Collectively?
I see what's happening here. And gotta be honest, this is not a hill I'm prepared to die on. What color tux I wear for a wedding? Might as well be black. Black is the same color they use for funerals. I'm not fighting you on this. I'm not fighting you on this. Oh man. Okay. Alright.
We're deciding it's gonna be a black tux.
You're saying that. It's gonna.
Oh, he was freaking out because she was in labor. I guess I didn't hear her say she was in labor. And, alright. A lot has transpired since that one, so we'll just leave that one.
Green tux.
No.
The hair's gonna be
No.
long.
Let's just look at some green tuxes, just so you guys have some options. How about a velvet vibe, right? Oh my goodness, I'm green with envy. Or how about a dark green look? Wow, he's one with the foliage. Wait, is that the definition of a collective decision? What? How did that get there? A collective decision is a choice made by a group of people where no single person is responsible for the decision? That doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Well,
Oh my God.
that's a surprise though, isn't it?
Hold on. My husband's mom destroyed our gender cake. Well, I already have my red flag. You have a gender cake. Maybe I should be giving your mom a fucking medal. I don't know. Let's see.
Do with anything.
Oh, wait. Is this a gender reveal? Maybe I read that wrong.
Well,
Oh my God.
that's a surprise though, isn't it?
No shit, well done.
What?
I tripped on the step and I. This is why I said to you before.
It's a girl.
Don't let your mum be the one that brings in the cake.
Oh, sweet Christ!
Do you realise you've ruined the one day that was special in this whole pregnancy? I was so excited for this day, and you've ruined it.
Mother in flaw! She did it on purpose! The wife predicted she'd do it!
It was just an accident. I felt I don't care if it's an accident. This is why you shouldn't have let her. This is why I said, will you go and get the cake?
What kind of bottle formula you into, mama's boy? Huh? You an Enfamil kind of guy, or are you sucking on that Similac?
First of all, it's ruined.
No, we've still got 20 minutes till they come round.
No, but it's the fact that I know I wanted a big surprise.
No,
What are you having? Girls?
Yeah, I did as well.
Like every other person gets when they do a gender reveal.
I wish there were partner reveals before the start of every relationship, you know? Like, surprise, he's a spineless twerp.
But it was an accident. My hands
Look,
were
don't
full
worry.
of...
Look, to be honest,
Look, I understand that you're saying it's an accident, but it's...
Look, it's only a bit, Maureen. I reckon put a bit of ice in.
Both of you know the gender of your kid now. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
You can't forget that.
Yeah.
So why even bring up icing? What are you going to do? Crack your head open and spread buttercream frosting all over your hippocampus? No.
I've done a pregnancy test.
Mother-in-law announces pregnancy at gender reveal. Dude, yeah, I will tell you, this happened with my sister. For some reason, I'm not going to say ladies, but mothers and grandmothers, y'all can't keep a secret to save your life. If your life was literally on the line to keep a secret, your urge to gossip would get you killed, and there would be nothing you could do about it, because for some reason I feel like most of you are hardwired this way. When my sister got pregnant, she didn't want anyone to know immediately. She wanted to tell people individually on her own terms before everybody found out. So naturally, she told me, she told my sister, she told my mom, my dad, and then my aunt, right? Me and my sister, because we know the value of secrecy. We don't say anything. Same couldn't be said for either my aunt or my mom or my dad, because 30 minutes later, all of Facebook knew. And it's just like, that wasn't your secret to tell. And if I would have known that you were going to be so fucking retarded with it, I would have never told you in the goddamn first place. And this is usually a problem with older women. Y'all can't shut the fuck up, is what I'm getting at. It's not all of you. I'm just saying, some of you, I bet you couldn't go 3 whole days without gossiping or telling someone else's business or a secret. I guarantee it. And if your life depended on it, you would be dead.
I'm pregnant! I'm pregnant!
I am more confused than a chameleon on a quilt.
So that was a gender reveal for your son and his lady, and you announced that you're pregnant. You're probably also the type to go to someone's wedding, and then right before the groom kisses the bride, you say, "By the way, I'm getting married next month." Good God. Unreal. No, one of my sisters is. The other one has a child. I have 2 sisters.
What?
She's joking. She's joking, right? Who knows the way together? Did you really think this is the right time to tell us this?
Carol! Men, pause!
Everybody's here.
been waiting
Cheryl,
to tell
you serious?
This is our moment, not yours, Mum. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, taking a stand. Get after it, Bubba.
It's not about us
We're
this
gonna
moment. It's about them. Let them get on with their thing.
Oh, I'll give you a little green flag gallop too. Are you kidding me, dude?
Why are you doing this today? I'm gonna be babies!
Cheryl, it's not the time or the place.
They gave her a reality check, but it bounced.
Why? I'm pregnant. We're gonna have a baby.
This is about them. It's not about us. It's not about you.
Wait, she's not drinking, is she?
Telling me what to do all the time. Why did you tell her not to say anything?
I told her not to say anything.
Doesn't seem like it.
She shouldn't be drinking if she's pregnant.
She is. Oh my.
Oh my
you are a
fucking
mess.
Christ.
Clean up your common sense.
Sweet
It's like a tornado
Jesus.
came through here.
She must have just found out she was pregnant and uses the justification of like, I've only been pregnant 5 minutes. I can have a glass of
If
Chardonnay.
I could
I'm
turn
fine.
back time.
I don't think it works that way. I think once you're pregnant, I think any substance going in your body will affect that child. But sure, we can keep that type of justification, I suppose. Ain't mom a little old to be having kids? I was gonna say that. I didn't want to be a dick. I mean, how old did you think she looked? She looked old enough to be my mother. My mother is currently, I think, in her 60s. She looked like my mother. So, don't know what you do when procreating, girl. But, alright. 50? My mother is definitely done with that stage of her life. I swear to Christ, she ever comes up to me and says, son, man, I'm slapping her. There's no way. That's not going to happen. There's literally an impossibility. But I could only imagine, because, like, my dad had another child late in life. And I was just like, fuck you thinking? Dumbass. Love my little brother, man. It's just like, you don't expect stupid shit like that from your parents.
You're a mess. Clean up your common sense. It's like a tornado came through here.
I was talking to my mom about it, like, she said, like, is this, if you really see a future with this girl, like, this is something you really need to, like, consider. You need to ask yourself, like, do you really want this kind of girl?
Because I said a curse word?
Huh.
Oh, there is just so much to unpack here. Oh, wow. Well, I see multiple red flags. One red flag is, well, you're breaking down about something very, very nonsensical, like your girlfriend's using a bit of profanity, and you're crying actual tears because your mom didn't like it. I don't know, man. To me, that's kind of a red flag. You're crybaby. Right? But at the same time, you're venting your feelings and your girlfriend is not taking it seriously and she's smiling and she's also recording the moment. So both of y'all are red flags in my opinion, if we're being honest here. I mean, dude, just from experience, no one wants to see a grown man cry. There's only a few instances and a few times where that is appropriate, man, but for something like this, come on, bro. Come on, man. I think the last time... I think up until this day, I think.
Oh my gosh, you know what I'm doing right now? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh god!
Okay, never mind. I kind of see why she's recording now. I think she may just be recording for her safety. Just in case you transform into Mrs. Hyde. Holy shit, Dr. Jekyll. This guy's not okay. He's not okay in a multitude of different ways. Yeah, that's...
Here, I pulled up a chair, got you a sippy cup, and an iPad for an episode of Bluey.
Because you're a little tablet toddler. Holy shit! Will the joy of this cartoon puppy soothe your little colic meltdown?
What is that?
Chicken Parmesan.
Did you make chicken parmesan out of dino nuggets?
Yo. Yo, dude. First off. First off, the red flag is on you, ma'am. You told your man to cook dinner, I feel. Or maybe he took it upon himself and this is what he came up with. Of course this is a red flag. Homie can't cook, but hey man, he's unique. He's gonna try some way, somehow to get it done. He doesn't give a fuck if it looks pretty. I do like those bowls though. Those gray ones. Where you know I'm getting old when I'm complimenting fucking bowls. I'd eat that, by the way. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what kind of lifestyle y'all live, but this is not beneath me.
Oh, I love it. A pineapple Hawaiian shirt, a whole spread of fun food. This is Jimmy Buffet right here.
Why would you do that?
Babe, that's the only chicken breaded stuff that they had at the store.
Maybe we could pass this little dino dish around. We could give it a fun nickname even.
Yeah.
Like Parmy and Friends, you know?
I find that super hard to believe that that was the only breaded chicken they had. Did you even look?
Yeah.
And all
I went right to them.
Ma'am, quit whining. It's a prehistoric supper. You're about to be nourished by history.
It's no problem.
What are we, 6? Whatever, this better be good. That's all I'm saying, because I
Babe,
can't
when
even...
her dino nuggets not good.
Sir, you ignore her. I would fly in on a pterodactyl for a plate.
Dude.
I feel like I'm waiting for... Thanks, babe.
Yeah, that's
the
not...
nuggets look scrumptious.
That's not gonna happen.
Come on, I'm excited on Sunday Fun Day.
How are you this upset on a day of rest? Come on. Oh, and another thing.
I would eat that because that's what I would make.
Are we sharing?
Like, dude, the other day, see, this is why, ladies, y'all don't want me fucking cooking, dog, I'm telling you. Yet, for those of you that try to put this upon your man, maybe she didn't, that may be a skit, but for those of you that try to put cooking upon your man when you know he can't, what is the matter with you? Huh? Okay, the other night, I ran out of hot dog buns, and I ran out of ketchup and mustard. But I had bread. You know what I did? I made those goddamn hot dogs. And I put it on a fucking thing of bread, and I got some sriracha sauce. There we go. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You might look at me like I'm a fucking cave-dwelling moron, but it was good. And I was full. So, I mean, I had a problem. I fixed it. I had a problem. I was hungry. I fixed the problem. I ate. I don't know where all the judgment comes from. Really, to be honest. But again, I'm just a simple man. So...
It was night.
Bro, hell no. Like... I've had girls clean up after me, and I've also cleaned up after girls. I don't mind cleaning up if it's just a little bit. But I'm not cleaning up all that. I've had to clean the stove before, I don't mind that. But I'm not doing that, man. If it's kitchen related, sure. Bathroom related, sure. If you haven't done it already, I'll get to it, right? Fuck you. I'm not picking up a fucking thing. That's your own space. Nah. No.
It was 1976, and a cartoonist named Tom made a joke that changed the world. He was hanging out with a group of friends, and after a while, he looked over at his friend Robert, also a cartoonist, and he noticed that Robert hadn't moved from the same spot on the couch for several hours. Didn't get up to pee, even. Tom let out a chuckle, and he jokingly called his friend a name that he made up on the fly. And everyone in the friend group died laughing, Robert included. In fact, Robert loved the nickname so much that he started incorporating it into his newspaper
Couch
comic
potato?
strips, his artwork, and he even wrote a book about it. The public latched onto the nickname, and it eventually became one of the most popular slang terms of all time. The term, couch potato. Sadly, it's not used nearly as much as it used to. So today,
I'm bringing it back for you, my sister in Christ! What are you doing? If you don't get up and help him, you little spud sloth!
Anthony told me to send him a grocery list. Send me a grocery list. Let me show you the grocery list I sent him.
I don't want to see it.
If you don't get up and help him, you little spud sloth!
Anthony told me to send him.
Anthony, you fucked up already. You should have gotten this list from your girl in writing 45 minutes before you even decided to leave to go to the grocery store. So not only are you going to get in your vehicle, but you're going to navigate traffic and all the other dumb fucking morons on the road whilst you wait on your girl to send you a list, a grocery list, mind you. And you were going to go into Winn-Dixie, Meijer, Publix, one of these places, and you were going to brave this on your own? I've tried. And it didn't go good, man. It was half my fault, half her fault. She gives shitty instructions. And when it comes to finding things in a grocery store, well, I'm just really bad at it. I know that there's labels, bro, but like, you know how many things of one fucking thing there are? You know what I'm talking about. Like, you go to the tomato section, you know how much tomatoes there are, or like tomato juice, or just like tomato stuff in general, or like, it's a lot of options and it's a lot of different things. And sometimes, like one day, she had me go to the grocery store. She had me pick out this fucking tomato flavored penne. It's P-E-N-N-E. However you spell it. Okay. I spent 45 minutes trying to find the right version of what the fuck she was looking for. And I was like, in that moment, I realized this isn't for me. I can't do this. This is not my role in the relationship. I'm about to hang myself in the fucking frozen food aisle. Anyways, you fucked up. We're gonna go.
Send him a grocery list. Send me a grocery list. Let me show you the grocery list I sent him.
I don't want to see it.
I'm a teacher. Bold, italicized, where it's located.
Tortillas, aisle 6. Well, better than what I got. I just got the names of shit.
Front wall and produce, aisle 6.
Hold on. I don't like your list, actually. Hold on. Wouldn't it make more sense to have him grab the tortillas, the guacamole at the same time as he grabs the salsa? Why is the salsa so far down at the bottom? Because he grabs the tortillas and the guacamole, but then he's got to go look for vegetables and then Diet Coke. And you know, we're men, so we're not gonna fuck around and do like, oh, let's get the toilet paper and then let's get the Diet Coke and then let's get the bacon. No, I'm gonna go point for motherfucking point. And if I go get the tortillas and the guac and the vegetables and the Diet Coke and then everything bagels, eventually I'm gonna have to go back to the tortillas because that's probably where the salsa is, right? I would assume that the salsa is in the same area as the tortillas. That would make sense to me. I don't know, man. And that's the only thing I see wrong. The salsa's too far away from the tortilla, so if we go point by point, we're gonna end up doing a circle. Whereas in, I mean, thank you for making the list. That's whatever, but do you not like your dude or something? Like, it seems like you have this down. Look at your list. It seems like you're good at this. Why can't you do it? You know, that's one thing that me and my girl used to do. I was like, I'll pay for all of it if you go get it. I don't want to go to the grocery store. I don't want to walk around with you. I don't want to look around with you. You know what you want. You know what we need. And I'm hungry. So you go, I'll pay for it. Sound good? We had a really good system that way. And we never went wrong. So, but then again, you know, that probably also depends on the layout of the store that you go to. Because while you go to an actual grocery store, maybe his ass just goes to Walmart. I don't know. Walmart has groceries. I've gone to Walmart for groceries before.
Aisle 6.
Make sure you give him the latitude and longitude of the balsamic vinaigrette.
Notice it says picture at the bottom. Let me show you what else I did. This is at the bottom for the crackers. This is the cheese. This is the charcuterie meat.
Jesus, this is a picture book now. This is literally the plot of the Berenstain Bears at the Super Duper Market.
I thought it would be simple. He called me 6 times to ask me where things were.
I've called more than that.
He called me 6 times. 5 times he called me to ask where things were. Honestly, I gotta be honest. The 6th time he called me to tell me he's never doing this again.
Oh, you little harlot, you're incompetent.
That sounds about right. Wouldn't even say that this is a red flag. She probably usually does all the grocery shopping. It's just that this time, maybe he was like, you know what, sweetie? I'll do it. How hard could this shit be? Maybe she was talking shit. You can't actually do this. And he got pissed and was like, you think I can't do it? Watch me. And then he gets pissed. Or maybe she was busy that day and asked him to do her a favor. And he tried and then got pissed. All I know is that it's not just him and it's not just me. It's a lot of us. I don't have the type of pay. Bro, if you leave it up to me, I'm going to walk out of that grocery store with about 15 to 25 hamburger helpers and Hungry Mans. Don't leave it up to me. I feel like this is something that I feel like this is just a girl activity. I can't do this. I'm not good at this. I don't know what we need, man, because I don't know how to cook. So I don't know that we need salad. I don't know that we need butter. I don't know that we need milk because I didn't plan on getting cereal. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but you ladies, y'all know all of it. So can we just can y'all just do it and we just appreciate you for it because I've never talked shit ever. Whenever the old lady comes home with whatever she got from the grocery store. I've never gotten mad. Hey, did you give me those chips? No, sorry, babe, I forgot. It's fine. Big deal. It's not like I had to go get it, so whatever, right? It's just depends on the salsa. Usually it's near or in produce.
Ain't a weapon, it's a condition.
Long story short, he said they don't sell vegetables here, actually. Well, they're on the website. I know they have them.
Veggies are the first thing you see when you walk in. What are you, repelling from the ceiling like a jewel thief?
Here he is. Hold on. How was it?
It's fine.
Did you scan your noggin?
It wasn't fine, bro. He cussed every second of the way. Every step of the way. You have a hard time? No. I almost punched the little old lady and the cashier, but no, it was not a hard time at all.
At the register?
Because you are checked out, brother!
He's stronger than all of the Avengers rolled into one, and soon to be known as Earth's mightiest hero.
Why would a god take orders from anyone at all? Maybe I need to show you what I'm capable of.
Avengers are gone. No one's coming to save the day.
We could be the people that are coming.
Wait, us?
Being a hero, there is no higher calling. Marvel Studios Thunderbolts, only in theaters May 2nd.
Listen and
honestly, at this point, Marvel, wake me up when Downey's movie comes out. Aside from that, nah. I don't know. I'm okay. Thanks, though.
Did you scan your noggin at the register?
I tried watching Aquaman 3 last night. I got 18 and a half minutes. I think. And I was like, I'm fine. I really did try though, guys. I tried. But I'm just waiting on Robert Downey Jr. to do whatever he's going to do. If it's great, fantastic. If it's not, whatever. I'm not holding my breath.
Because you are checked out, brother!
We listen and we don't judge. Sometimes I go in the bathroom and hide and pretend to go to the bathroom when I hear the chaos in the house, just so you have to handle it, not me.
Trampoline jump!
Hello. Sorry, I got here as fast as I could.
When sometimes I tell you I'm going to get a facial, but I'm really going to get Botox.
Dude, she might hit you with a closed fist. You're worried about the wrong face.
Sometimes I pretend to have to fix something downstairs just so I can play video games and have some peace.
Stupidity heel click! What game do you play, mortal dingbat?
Sometimes I go in our bedroom at night and pretend to fold laundry while you're downstairs just so I don't have to help you clean up.
The next thing she's cleaning is your clock, pal!
Sometimes I tell you I have to go run errands, but I'm really just eating Chick-fil-A in my car and going shopping.
Ma'am,
She's not the only girl that does that, I feel. Really.
do you stockpile your Excedrin in a Camelback? Or is it more of an IV drip situation?
There's... I don't know if y'all have done this, but back when I had a girl, I would get home and for the first 20, I would say 15 to 25 minutes of me being home, I wouldn't go inside. I would sit in my car and I would watch videos or just like everything that I couldn't afford to watch at work, I'll watch it there and just like relax a little bit before I walk inside. And I didn't even have kids at that point either. Like, so it was just like my own little time before like I'm forced to have to interact with another human being, right? I would just do that. I would do my own thing, get my composure, 15, 20 minutes, watch some shit, haha, funnies, until I have to go in and actually, again, engage with another human. Because I may not get time to do what I just did for the remainder of the day. I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But, you know.
Men that have to get up on a whim and pack the bag.
Hold on. What is this?
Men that have to get up on a whim and pack the bag, and then they have to drive.
But so does the woman.
Yeah, but she can feel in her body that what's happening. She can feel her water breaking.
Yeah, and that's worse.
No, but like she can mentally prepare at least. She knows that it's about to happen. Men can be in the middle of like playing a video game or something, and they have to all of a sudden drop everything they're doing and rush to the hospital and stay up for 24 hours helping their wife that's complaining the entire time.
But I'm paying you extra.
Are you high? Are you high? Ain't no way, bro. That's gotta be a skit. I hope that's a skit. What? Are we really comparing who pregnancy is tougher on? The man or the woman? Nah, there's no way we're having that conversation. Right? Ain't no way. You fucking me? Like, what you just
I know, and I'll do it, but this is a difficult decision. This procedure hasn't been done since the 60s. You have to be sure.
Look, we've got to do it. It's the best thing for everyone involved.
All right, then.
Is like, we have to drop what we're doing. What if we're playing video games? We have to drop what we're doing and go do something for 24 hours. Like, yeah, dude, I'll sleep under a goddamn bridge if that's her fucking request for delivering that baby. Because as long as it's not coming out of me. I thought that most of us felt this way. Really. But that's like the one time we'll kiss your ass the absolute most. We'll borderline commit a crime for you. What do you need, sweetie? What do you need, sweetie? And you're over here like, oh, it's hard on us men too. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay. All right.
You want to bring him in at 9 a.m.?
That'll work.
Okay. Tell him no food or drink after midnight.
All right.
And, yeah, we'll see you in the morning.
Perfect. Thank you so much again. Seriously. All right. That was your doctor. We've got an appointment for you tomorrow morning at 9.
For your lobotomy! We're cleaning out your cortex with this tape, brother! There's probably dust mites and cicada shells laying around in there.
Because I just can't do anything right, can I? I'm just the worst person in the world, aren't I? Why are you even with me? If I'm so fucking terrible, if I'm just a fucking terrible person!
It was 1879, and my wife was in labor. She was 7 feet, 11 inches tall, and she was in excruciating pain. Her husband and the doctors all stood around her, and they wondered if the child would be unusually large too. She struggled with all of her might, gripping the guardrails of her hospital bed so tight she nearly ripped them off their hinges. And after several sweat-inducing hours, she birthed the son. Everyone in the room was stunned at the boy's size. They were immediately anxious to know his weight. So the father quickly cut the umbilical cord, the doctors placed the boy on the scale, and they all collectively gasped as it read 22 pounds, 8 ounces. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, he was the biggest baby ever recorded in human history. But today, that record was finally broken.
Because you came along, you Titanic toddler!
Oh, what was this guy even mad about? That's funny. That's... Hold on. So this is what a grown man who forgot your anniversary looks like. Oh, that's what was in the thumbnail. Forgets anniversary, gets mad at me. Dog. Nah.
Right, can I? I'm just the worst person in the world, aren't I? Why are you even with me?
I mean, to be honest, we don't have context. We don't have context. He could have actually gotten her something, and it wasn't enough. And he's like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. Nothing I do is ever enough. Fuck you, Deborah. We don't know, but yeah. Tom Holland doesn't look happy. He is upset because he forgot the anniversary. But like I said at the beginning of the video, hey man, listen, whose job is it to remember the anniversary? I don't think we ever had that class. I think I missed that meeting. Right? I feel like you're a team, right? If one of you forget a doctor's appointment, y'all both forgot a doctor's appointment. Y'all are a team. Y'all are a unit. Y'all have taken your single selves and melded together to form a better self, right? What marriage is, what having a partner is, all right? So who bears that responsibility of, remember, I feel like it should be mutual. I feel like y'all should both be mindful of that day. If y'all even care to acknowledge that day. I know some couples don't do anniversaries. They're just like, hey, I'm with you, right? Cool. That's all we need. Fuck all these days and shit. I'll love you on a Tuesday just as much as I'll love you next Wednesday. We don't need a goddamn day. Fuck it. Right? But yeah, homie's upset. Damn, someone. I would be streaming divorce so fast if my husband took food and threw it in the trash. Yeah, and see, here's the thing. I'm Hispanic, so even if it's bad, we don't waste food, homie. I'll still eat it and then tell you, hey, listen, not your best work. You're gonna have to work on some things, okay? And I'll gladly taste test it for you, but hey, listen, don't give this to anybody else if you value your feelings. Nah, the chicken nugget parma was freaking awesome. That's what I'm saying. Ladies. The ladies be getting mad because like they put all this work into a meal that they cook. And they're like, oh, this is great. This is amazing. And then they look over at us and we're just like doing some some caveman type shit, and they're just ladies can't understand it, and on some level it irks them. They're just like, I don't understand how you can be so fucking simplistic. It's almost dumb. It's almost dumb how simple you are. Some ladies don't like that. I love it. I love that. Set phone reminder. What? It happens. Just write it on the calendar. That's what I'm saying. Or, you know what? Just leave, like, both of y'all, leave it up to Siri. That way, if neither of y'all remember, or not Siri, leave it up to Alexa to remind you, or Siri. That way, if neither of y'all remember, y'all can both collectively blame it on Siri. Oh, here's some more 20 minutes of red flags and green flags. Ah, we're good for now, but we can push that. We can put that in the watch later. I know that some of these had to have been skits. Yeah, I knew a lot of people would have a problem with that one, man. Dude, the audacity to announce your pregnancy on someone else's gender reveal. Right? And then play the victim when you get called out for your poor behavior. Lord. Man. And in front of your son, no less. Dude. My mother would never embarrass me that way. Ever. And vice versa. I would never embarrass my mother that way. And you know, there was a few things in here, man, that it was just like dudes that were just like too afraid to say something to their mom or to their... And hey, listen, I hear a lot of people say like, oh, he's being a pussy, blah, 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 all this stuff. Nah, man, sometimes... I've been married twice. Sometimes you need to know which battles you want to fight. Not every battle's worth fighting, man. Even if it irks you, sometimes it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it to argue. It ain't even worth it to give your opinion. So sometimes, dude, you just like whatever. But some of these dudes were getting put in between a rock and a hard place. Your mother and your significant other. But like I said earlier, you better choose your significant other. Your mother will get over it, bro. She will. They usually do. And if she doesn't, oh well, man. Shouldn't be that overbearing to begin with. Man, you stop embarrassing your son when he moves out, right? From the ages of birth to like 17, you embarrass him all day, right? That's your job. But when he's like 35 and he's announcing a child with his girlfriend, that's not the time to embarrass your fucking kid. You weirdo. Oh shit, that was a new fat electrician that just popped up. I forgot what it was called. Ah, well. Let me see what else is in my watch later and see if there's anything that... I did that one. Oh, goddamn it. No, you know what we're gonna do? Actually, we're gonna call it here. I'll save these for another stream. And I'm guessing from what I saw earlier today in chat, y'all are wanting a music stream, right? We will do a music stream tomorrow. That's what we will run. I don't have much to edit as far as this stream is concerned. Maybe 1 or 2 videos, and those don't take me long. But we can run a music stream tomorrow if y'all want. If If you fuckers don't show up, I'm just going right back to YouTube. It's fine. But yeah, we'll run that since a lot of you have been asking me about it, and there's a lot of new music that I'm kind of excited to listen to that I haven't checked out, you know? So, and it's been a minute. So, yeah, I'm going to try to go live here in a little while on some Monster Hunter. I'm just waiting on my niece to get home. I got to feed her and then make sure that she didn't fuck around at school. And then we'll see. But I'm going to try to do that at some point. So, love you guys. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling with me. I will see y'all tomorrow, hopefully. And then the rest of this week. I didn't have very many days where I don't go live this week, so. Okay, if you have anything, y'all can DM me on Discord. I'll be there. And hopefully I see y'all in the gaming stream later. All right. Love y'all.